And here we go. We're back with another Booze and Chill Buzzcast podcast. Today we're going to be talking more. We're diving deeper, much more deeper into the world of mixology. But this time, we got Angelo back. We got Angelo back, but now he's brought along two other friends. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get deeper, and it's gonna be a little cocktail party, I guess you could say. So let's get on. So let me go ahead and let all my guests. It's a really nice panel today, guys. Let me get all the people in here. Here we go. We got everybody. Here's everybody. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello.
Hola. Let's introduce ourselves. We know Angelo, but Angelo, let's start with you. Let's refresh your
Uh,
here.
Hi, I'm Angelo. You can call me Jello. Bartender at Gatsby's and Russia's, and hopefully Rise someday too. Been bartending now 11 years. Love it. Don't see myself doing anything else.
Okay, how about ISIS?
My name is Isis. I'm 21, not 22. I'm 21 and I'm a bartender at Gatsby's as well. And I've been bartending for about 2 years. I'm going into my third year.
Very nice, very nice, Mr. Lobo.
Yeah, so my name is Ismael Lobo. So everybody calls me Lobo, and I've been bartending for about 10 years now. And I've been bartending at
Whoa.
Gatsby's and soon enough Rise as well.
Very nice. So you're the vet out of all of the three here, then.
The longest running vet, yes.
Nice, nice.
Hmm.
Just a question: is this like the longest uh, uh, mixologist that we got here in the home city, or is there much more experienced people
Oh no,
that I'm not
there's
aware of?
Yeah.
definitely no, there's definitely way more. Like
Okay, all
far
right.
more. Yeah, there's
Okay,
people
okay.
that have gone like 20. I'm pretty sure there's some that are even in their 30 years. So
Oh,
yeah, no, not
shy.
even close. Yeah, not even close. Not even close.
Very, very nice.
And luckily,
Um,
I've been able to learn from some of them. So yeah, so that's been great.
that is awesome. Any shout outs before we get started with these questions?
To Rocha's, Rise, and Gatsby's, man. Gonna be the three
Yeah.
trifecta in my awesome list.
Very cool. Very cool. So just like last time when Angelo's here, there's going to be 10 questions, but they're going to be answered differently by each and everybody here in the panel. So basically, I've categorized all these 10 questions, uh, not particular order, but all the categories do have to do with the question. So the first thing that we're going to talk about. We're going to start simple. We're going to start simple. And the first thing that we're talking about is mixology, sorry, background. And there, we're going to start off by asking um, you guys sharing about your journey into the world of mixology and how you develop your passion for crafting cocktails and what inspired you to pursue a career in mixology. Now we've already talked about this with Angelo, but Angelo, maybe if you want to give it like a start, just to kind of again refresh people's memories on how you got started.
Oh yeah. I got started by a mistake. Bartender didn't show up at Carino's one day, and Kathy Buckley, amazing GM, literally said, "Angelo, what can you do behind a bar?" And I told her, "I know how to make a Jack and Coke," and she threw me behind there. So it started off with a whole big pile of mess ups, broken glasses, and just showing up and being like, "What do I do? What's my job really?" Like, and then yeah, it's after years I started taking it actually serious. Got my mixology certification, my European bartending certification, and even now I'm still excited for what I learn and love what I do because of the fact that like every time I make a drink, it's just something that is literally like delicious. So I love it. Like it's a new sense of flavors, taste, and just an introduction of my background to people when they don't know me, like through a drink.
That is awesome. How about let's start with Lobo here. How did you start?
I started back. Chili is funny enough. I've always seen the bartenders because I also worked at Carino's a long time ago. But I've always seen all the bartenders behind there. I was always friends with them. I was always interested in working behind the bar. But it was didn't get my shot up until Chili's. I basically just lied and said I had already bartended, but I never did. But I knew I would pick it up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I did. I did well, but it was just your basic sweet and sour drinks. And I didn't take it seriously up until I finally got a shot at Border Foundry. And that's when I really actually leveled up and started really learning it and actually, researching and doing my input and my due diligence into it.
Now, does every mixologist kind of start off at working at these restaurants slash bars, or is it like something that just kind of pick up by themselves? Like this is just like an honest question.
I mean, at least in our area, the first things that we ever had, we didn't have very local businesses. We didn't have a lot of local bars. I mean, we have very few. So a lot of people tend to always start off at a chain restaurant because that's normally what we had. We haven't had a lot of local restaurants open up until probably the past, I want to say like 6, 7 years, and started really booming in the past like part 3 or 4.
Oh, got you. All right, same question for ISIS.
So I actually started off at a local bar. It was kind of known for like cocktails. I started getting interested in bartending when I was working at Main Event. It was my first job ever, and I had like no idea what to do. I was a host there. And then eventually I was able to pick up serving, and there was one bartender in specific who kind of made me like want to get behind the bar. But I was just never given the chance there. So when I moved over to that local bar that I used to work at, they kind of saw that I was interested in bartending, and then they just started teaching me a little bit here and there. Until finally, like one Friday night, they're like, "Hey, we really need hands behind the bar. Can you work it?" And I was like, Sure. I mean, I've never worked a Friday night at a busy bar before, but I guess I'll make it work." And I did. It was a little bit rough at first just because I wasn't used to it, but I was able to manage and I got a lot of praise for it. And after that, they had been putting me at the bar since.
Nice. So in a way, it's y'all stories kind of like are similar in a way because y'all started working at semi similar industries or restaurants in some cases. So um, in a way, it all connects. It all connects in some sort of way, in strange way. I don't know. That's the way I see it. I don't know how you guys see that, but that's how I see it. All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
we do have similar stories. Just because I mean, we've all been wanting to get that chance. Usually, that's how a lot of, well, from what I've heard from a lot of bartenders, they were never given the chance at the place that they really wanted to, or not really wanted to bartend, but at a place that they wanted to start, just so they can
Mhm.
get their feet wet. And then their next stop is where they really give them the chance. They really focus on what they want to do and what kind of bar career they want to take. So for example, at the bar that I used to work at, yeah, I could either go dive bar or I could go cocktail bar. And I'm very happy that I went the cocktail route just because I get to be more creative with drinks. It gets to be more intricate. There's more meaning behind it. Whereas at a dive bar, I can mix a liquor, a juice, and a soda, and then there you have my drink. So definitely happy that I went the cocktail route. And I feel like that's a route that a lot of bartenders now are taking.
Okay. All right. You mentioned artistry. We're gonna probably get a little deeper into that as we go. So that answers the first question. So let's move on to the next one. This next category is signature cocktails. Um, I feel like every mixologist, and I'm only saying this because my buddy Angelo here has explained his signature, his go-to, which he'll explain right now. I feel like every mixologist has a go-to drink that they're just like has been working on and specialized in since the get-go. So again, Angelo, if you want to maybe refresh everybody's memories on what your signature cocktail is.
Yeah, I believe I said it was a "Don't Play by the Rules" that I've been working on for a
Mhm.
while. It's vodka, Aperol, Saint Germain, uh, some lemon juice. Although working at
Although,
Gatsby's, it has been improved on. Lobo's laughing because he's the one who's improved it several times.
he knows
With
something. He
mezcal.
knows something.
Yeah, honestly, his knowledge in mezcal and tequila is a lot more vast than mine. So his combinations of those flavors with some of his like cocktails are really freaking astounding. I fucking yet yesterday, oh my god, the
Story
bow and
time.
arrow.
Story time.
The bow and arrow was so amazing, man. I literally was like, what the heck is in that? I had to turn around and literally just look at it like, what was that? What was that? Like that. I want to know what it is.
Okay, real quick. What in the shit is a bow and arrow?
So that is a combination of both bourbon and mezcal. So funny enough, I went through a whole phase
Oh.
of loving bourbon, but I've went higher and higher proof. And I started to understand that I really like smoking it. So when I first tasted mezcal, that's when I absolutely fell in love. And the combination of both bourbon and mezcal go really well together. But then I found a combination that fits both, which is pineapple and cinnamon, that work really well with both flavors. So it's both of those things, with just a little bit of lemon juice, and it all the whole flavor just really speaks for itself, and it's really good.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said, my signature drink is still changing to this day.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I was able to taste his flavor, but since he uses vodka, vodka is very flavorless. So I wanted to experiment with it, and I actually went with Scotch and mezcal, and they both actually really worked out. So I'm glad he liked it.
So yeah, we're
I have
having fun with it. We've been doing gin as well every now and then, just for kicks, trying it out.
I have a
I
question.
love how this back and forth thing happens. Yes, go on.
Sorry. So is the combination of mezcal and bourbon like common? Because I've had tickets come through where it's like a whiskey sour or New York sour with bourbon and mezcal. I just want to know if it's common. I've seen it at Gatsby's, but I've never seen it anywhere else.
I think, I mean, yeah, it is. It's that little burn and smokiness that both of them kind of have, that kind of are similar to each other. So a lot of people kind of look forward to that little heat that you get at the back end. Mezcal is a lot more, smoke forward. You're going to feel it a lot more especially with the process that it has in the way that it's made. But it definitely kind of mirrors itself. It's just obviously made with different, one is made with corn and the other one is made with
Yeah.
the agave, but you get a distinct flavor, but it's kind of similar.
Oh, okay.
Look at
Sorry, I
these
just
guys
wanted
just
to know.
like throwing back ingredients back and forth. They're working even when they're not working. That's insane, guys. So yeah, the signature cocktails. I totally did not throw the question, but since Angelo's been here, he's kind of again just refreshing the memories. So this question is mostly for you two. What is your approach to creating signature cocktails, and do you have a particular style of or theme that you like to incorporate? Let's start with you, Lobo.
I definitely go a lot to the mezcal and liquor route. I mean, and tequila route. I guess basically it's just because mezcal is my gal and I absolutely love it. But I understand that there's other people that don't really like it, so it's kind of like a challenge for me to kind of introduce it to people in a way where they will actually like it, because everybody will taste mezcal and they hate it. It's the worst possible thing that they could ever drink. But I like to get that challenge of, okay, I'm gonna put it there, I'm gonna have them taste it, not tell them what it is, and they love it. And they're like, "What's in it?" And when I tell them, they're like, "I don't believe you." And that's kind of a route that I like to take.
I've seen that.
Oh, she's
Just
seen
surprised
firsthand those
me and like,
Yeah,
what's
reactions.
in that?
Me and Lobo are like well neighbors. So whenever he's taking care of customers, there's like a lot of different types that come through, and then they're like, "Oh, I want something with vodka, or I want something with this, or something with that, or maybe something sweet." And Lobo's very thorough with like the questions that he asks when they say "surprise me." So he'll ask them if they want it bitter, sweet, etc. But more often than not, he always surprises them with like a mezcal drink, and they do end up loving it, even though they don't like it. But I have seen it, so yeah.
Yeah,
Very,
I've
very
seen people who
nice.
say, "Oh, I never liked mezcal," and then try one of Lobo's like surprise me drinks and be like, "Oh, there's mezcal in there."
Very, very cool. I guess that's what 10 years of experience can do, I suppose. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Anywho,
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
same question for you, Isis.
So I am kind of starting to create my own cocktails. Gatsby's has definitely been like a really big inspiration as to why I'm doing it. I would do it at home here and there, but it was it was all right. I do have this one cocktail that I am pretty proud of. I call it the Welcome to Wonderland. Help Lobo actually helped me tweak it a
It's a
little
very
bit.
cool name.
Thank you. Uh, I use vodka, our in-house liqueur. I use honey, lemon, ginger, and grapefruit. And it has like a little like nice foam at the top. Um, I I absolutely love the cocktail. I think it tasted great the first time that I made it, and I got a lot of positive feedback from it. But I asked Lobo a lot of questions about tweaking and stuff because he has a I guess a flavor palette that I really want to explore and get into, because a lot of my drinks they come out either like super sweet or just kind of in the middle, you know.
Hmm.
So definitely with the tweaks that him and I made together, it made the cocktail what it is right now. I mean, it still needs improvement. I did some tweaking yesterday because I just wanted to test it out, and it worked out pretty good, right? Um, but yeah, like that cocktail is like my baby, and I'm like tweaking it as like I'm going. Uh, but yeah, a lot of the heavy tweaking did involve me and Lobo just kind of brainstorming it and bringing in ideas. So yeah, that's that was a question, right? Sorry, I just kind of went off talking about
It's
the
all right. It's all right.
cocktail. But yeah,
That's fine.
that's the one that I've been tweaking here and there, and that's kind of my signature cocktail.
Very cool. Now I gotta ask the name. Who came up with it? You or Lobo?
I came up with the name.
You came up. Okay.
Yes. So I came up with the cocktail, I believe on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. And I was working with Angelo, and we were kind of both just trying to brainstorm ideas on how to come up with cocktails, and everybody was behind the bar mixing something. I was just kind of off on my side, like just by myself, trying to see like, okay, what goes with this? What flavors will enhance the flavor of this liqueur? And so on and so forth. I like working a lot with egg white, but I know a lot of people don't like it. So I decided to add the egg white as a foam with some flavor to it, so it doesn't taste super eggy. I created the cocktail on its own, so in the case that nobody wants the foam, I just make it like just a liquid, you know, with the garnish and stuff. So when I showcased it to the owners and the manager, they really liked it. They said it was really good. Um, Obviously they gave some criticism, and I incorporated that to fixing the drink afterwards with Lobo. And then it came down to asking the name of the cocktail, and I'm kind of bad with names, so
Oh,
me and
same here, man.
Angelo were actually brainstorming the names throughout the shift. So the cocktail reminded me a lot of my sister. Her name is Leila, and it reminded me of a garden because it looks like really like you look at it and it looks peaceful. And when I think of peaceful, I think of a garden. So Angela was like, "What if you name it the Garden of?" It could take on the name of the Garden of Eden, so it could be the Garden of Layla. But it was a little too long for my taste. It's that the name is fucking beautiful. I'm sorry, it's beautiful, right?
It's
Um,
fine.
yeah. But
It's getting deep. It's getting deep. You're feeling it
yeah,
right now.
sorry. um, so after a little bit like here and there trying to come up with things, it also reminded me of the cat from Alice in Wonderland. So I was like, why don't we just call it Welcome to Wonderland? And Jello really liked it, and the owner really liked it. So I decided to stick with that. Just because it reminded me of the cat. It reminded me of my sister, and it reminded me of the cat. So it has two names.
That's crazy, man. I've talked about this with Angelo. Like, it's nuts, like how the creative process, and how I love how when the drinks even come with an origin story, like how you just mentioned. It just brings much more meaning. It becomes more than just a cocktail. Like, it's something much more deeper than that. And that's what I always liked about whenever me and Angelo would talk about the process of making these cocktails and these drinks. It just it's there's always something deeper to it, and that's why I might sound like a broken record whenever I say this, like it, but it is kind of like an art form within itself, because you're kind of sort of pouring y'all's heart and souls into it. And not only that, but you're also like getting in like this like creative process even when it comes down to the fucking name. And that's what blows my mind when it comes to this. But
The
very,
hardest
very
part
dope.
about making it, it's actually a lot easier to make the drink. It's so hard to name it. Like absolutely so
Super.
hard to name it.
I
Yes.
would
Yes.
like to say Lobo has an art for this though, because he helped me with one of my drinks, and like the name is just sticking now.
Well, it's because
So
I'm punny. I'm punny, but I have
yeah,
like old man dad jokes that kind of stick to
so
the names of it.
I originally called it
Same here,
the
bro.
Bad
Same here.
Aviation, but Lobo gave it the new name, the Earhart.
What was that?
The Earhart.
Earhart.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
as in Amelia.
Mm.
Yeah, there was
And it
ever
comes
a
with like a
story
black
about
So
bad
plane on the
aviation,
side.
it might have been there.
Lobo does have like a really creative side. I think out of all three of us, Lobo is the better one with coming up with names.
Yeah.
Because I believe when we were trying to do the Valentine's courses, I had come up with
Okay.
a tiramisu cocktail. And they had asked me, "Oh, so like, what do you want to name it?" And I was like, I don't know, tiramisu cocktail." And Lobo was like, "Hmm, let me
There's
put
a
one and
similar
one
story that
together."
Angelo threw out. The You made a cocktail and you just named it after the same ingredients in it. I
Okay,
remember
so
that story.
it was butterfly tea and coconut rum. I called it the coconut butterfly tea.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it was straightforward.
Yes,
Now, now, like, after what you just heard, after what Angelo just said, would you consider that lazy, or just like not
Mm,
not to put you like that, but it's like, is it lazy, or just like there's like, how are you saying there's more work to be put in when it comes to names? So
yeah.
which one would it
I,
have been?
I don't think so. I think the hardest part, like I said, I was like, is making the cocktail. I was like, once you have it made and whatever, the name of it doesn't even matter. It could be the Angelo cocktail. It could be whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
Okay, okay.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. All of it
I will
really
say
goes down
though,
to the drink.
a catchy name will definitely get the attention of the customers, and they'll want
Yeah,
to keep
Hmm.
ordering it.
Yeah.
Um, like, well, I can't say the tiramisu cocktail name that Lobo picked for the cocktail because
I'll say it because
you can say it.
it
Yeah,
was just a joke. It really was. It
I don't
wasn't
know
like
about that
I
one.
wasn't really
I
What
don't
coming
know
up with
was
about
the
that,
that
but
one.
it's
name?
because it was for Valentine's Day. Like we're supposed to sell that,
Yeah,
so
me and Angelo
I
are
was
just sitting here like, what's the name
it
then?
was supposed to be tiramisu's calzones. So it was like,
Oh my god, I remember you said
It
that.
was. I never turned my head so hard in my life. When I heard him say that from behind me, I was like, "Excuse me, what did you
Oh,
just say?"
so you were just like passing the name out to like these customers, or did you actually like picture the name
Oh,
first?
He he
I think you were
pitched me the
making
I
a joke.
name.
pitched it. I just threw
Yeah.
it out there. I was just joking around. It
Oh,
wasn't.
okay. I
Yeah,
love
no,
it
it was
though.
never
I
never
love it.
gonna get me named that, but the fact that he mentioned it was incredibly funny. I would have never thought about that. But that was really funny.
I like it. I like it. It's like, again, it's what's in it, but it also you're throwing a little bit of humor, but that seems to
Yeah.
work a lot. I mean, there's shots are like called, like, what is it, like the cum shot, the like stupid like panty dropper, stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
it's
seem
all
to
Yeah.
sexual
work, but
always.
only
Yeah.
because of the names. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I feel like the more absurd the name is, the more the people want to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Like
just saying this
I've
star
seen
fucker needs a better name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think? You
I
guys
don't know.
think
I don't
so?
like them. Like, there's a shot called Sex with the Alligator. And when I
What the
first heard of it, I
fuck?
was like, what?
I've
What
never
is
heard of
that?
such a thing.
It's okay. So it's like this shot. It's a layered shot.
Cranky. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a layered shot, right? And it comes in like I think in a I made it in the martini glass, and it has Jaeger. So I think it has like I don't know if it's a melon
Yeah, it's
or
melon liqueur, sweet and sour.
yeah,
And you can put rum, and then you drop grenadine at the bottom, so it'll be like a red thickness, and then you have the green in the middle, and then you have the black on top of the Jaeger.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
That's
Okay,
too.
cool, cool. I was
That's a
like,
That
that's
sounds
cocktail.
nuts.
interesting, though.
That's literally a cocktail, not even a shot. Cause like it's literally like a martini glass, maybe this big, smaller, maybe like that.
What the worst
It's
shot I've ever
crazy.
heard is a 10-inch dick. So I don't know who wants to be taking that, but I know there's some people that really do, right? But still.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, sir. You'd be surprised.
No, I'm not surprised, but yes.
Oh, there's one that they have in the system at Rochas. I guess it was really popular when Sunday Fun Day was a big hit at Rochas. It was the leche de burro, and I asked I
Oh
asked what it was,
no.
and they're like, "Don't ask." I was like,
No.
"Okay," and I just walked away, and I went back to what I was doing. But the names on it's because it's one
There's
thing to
actual
like
donkey that they hold in the back.
that they milk. Like
He's
There's a
you
milk.
donkey doing everything.
you open the system and then you go through the shots and you see like a bunch of crazy names and you're just like, I can't believe that this is actually something that people ask for. And I don't know. I just
Damn.
they're so funny.
I'm so curious within that. I actually sent a message to Kicker right now. I want to know what's in it.
Can I get the name of that donkey, please?
Get the name of the donkey.
Anywho, that was an interesting. We got some interesting names of some drinks. That 10-inch steak one caught me off guard, as well as that donkey one. But does it come with a donkey show? No, I'm kidding. We're gonna move on to the next one. For the next category. The next category is customer interaction, and I think that's kind of also important because again, not only are you making cocktails, but you're making them in front of people, and these people are drinking them, and then drinking, gets people acting a little funny and all that jazz. So my question is, can you share a memorable interaction you've had with a customer while crafting a cocktail for them? Let's start with Lobo on this one. I'm gonna call you the Yoda of the group because you seem to be the go-to guy even when it comes to just not just making it but naming the damn things. So let's
I
start
gotta
with
be
you.
honest. A lot of the times when me and Isis are coming up with cocktails, we do run to Lobo for like a taste at the end of it, just to be like, "Hey, dude,
Yes.
like it's good to
My
me, but
point.
like,
My point.
hey, like,
Is it good to you? Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're my little Padawan.
Master, is this good, master?
We're bringing
Uh,
the
I just pictured Master Skywalker. What are we supposed to do?"
Master Lobo, can you test the cocktail?
God damn it! Now I feel old.
Wise is the word I'm
Wise,
looking
wise.
for,
We'll
sir.
take that one. Wise.
very knowledgeable.
Funny enough, out of customer interaction, there's a lot of stories. One actually just happened yesterday, which I really enjoyed. But I want to say the one that kind of sticks to me the most is there was one time when I was working at Border Foundry that there was a customer that wanted a drink. I've made several for her, but there was a certain point where she's like, I have this flavor in my head that I want to like, kind of like a little itch that you want to scratch. So she was telling me, okay, I want something that has vodka, but that is, kind of flowery, but slightly sweet, but not too sweet. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right. But she went actually a little bit more in depth than even the way I put it. So I was like, okay, I have to find a real specific form of making that. So I went ahead and used the vodka that she asked for. I went ahead and put a little bit of dry gin. And with the flower part, I went with elderflower. At the very end of it, I put a little bit of a simple syrup just to kind of pick up the sweetness of it, because when I had first made it, it had a lot of alcohol because it's just straight alcohol, like straight liquor. So I
Of
mean,
course.
I've already known her, and I know she likes martinis, but I know she wanted something a little bit smoother, on the smoother end, not as strong as a martini. And I know that there is an elderflower martini, so this will be kind of a riff to it. So it has like a little bit of a shine, so I ended up calling it the Moonlight Martini. But when you first taste it, you'll taste all the alcohol at the beginning. You'll kind of get that little dryness and the velvety part of the Saint Germain and the dry vermouth. And at the very end, you get that sweetness where it just kind of just softens and smoothens out, and it ended up being really, really good. It's like, for it being the first time I had ever made it and it came out that well, I was absolutely like impressed, and she was as well, and it was really fun. And last night,
that
actually,
interaction was very precise, though. I feel like
yeah,
this might have been like a test. Like you got somebody who might have also done cocktails, because this is very specific.
it was, and she wasn't, but I think she just wanted something really particular, and I actually really like that when somebody knows what they want and they want to hit that mark, because it's kind of like it's a challenge. It's really a challenge that you want to be able to please that flavor palette, and you want to get there, and you want to see that smile on their face. I mean, that's
Course,
the
of
most
course.
rewarding part about this. And yesterday, it actually also happened. And it was at the very end, probably the last cocktail that I made. It was somebody that came in and wanted an absinthe like drink. So when I made it for her, and she had it, and I saw her face, and she told me that it brought back memories, and that absolutely is probably the best compliment I've ever had in like the last 10, like the entire 10 years I've been bartending. And she reminded her of her past in California, and that's I was like, I felt really warm inside, and it felt really good.
I can attest to this. Those ladies were taking photos of the drink the whole night.
Oh, and that is why Lobo gets the title Master Jedi Cocktail Maker. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
We should
All
make a
right.
T-shirt for Lobo that says that.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, duuld. Yeah.
Yours
Wearing
are
every
impressed.
shift from now
But
on.
you gotta make sure you get the Yoda ear somewhere in there.
With the lightsaber
Uh,
on there with the pin.
oh, instead of it'll be like a cocktail, right? But instead of an umbrella, it'll be a lightsaber.
Ah, I like
Yes, that actually
See,
sounds like a
I
pretty nice
too am
garnish.
full of
Yeah, it
ideas.
does.
yeah,
Speaking of ideas, I threw
like with
out
the
a
martini
drink idea
glass.
to Angelo the last time you were here. The I think it was what was it? The cotton candy one. But to
Yeah.
turn it into a Halloween themed, are you all familiar with Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Correct.
Yes.
Getting that theme into that drink with cotton
That would
candy.
be really cool. That
Booze
would
and
be
Chill exclusive right there. Boom. Copyright. Anywho, same question to let's start with Angelo now.
All right, sweet. I want to say some of the best interactions I had was probably the best interaction I actually had was actually with kneecaps in them. Actually, I spoke about them a lot. I love them. They're my favorite guys.
I
They
love that
work
name.
with 511, not for 511. I got you guys. I said that right this time. Don't get mad at me again. Uh, they saw the podcast. They loved it. Those guys are awesome. Every time they show up, they start asking for any of the cocktails. I've made them throughout the week and stuff like that. And they'll sit at a table and ask a server to send this stuff in. And ISIS will literally just walk over, put the ticket in front of you, and be like, "Yeah, you're making that." I'm like, "Okay."
ISIS
I don't
being a
mind
boss
some of the
here,
stuff
man.
I've
Being a
come
little
up with for
bossy
them.
boss.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
kidding.
the
I don't know.
pressure.
I by the way, guys,
Oh,
I
gotcha.
never told them the nicknames. So you guys can have fun telling that story.
Wait, what nicknames? Oh,
Infinity.
the
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's gonna
never
be
told them
interesting.
that. So I
Story
thought that'd be
time.
What about the
Okay, so-
jar?
Lobo, would you like to tell this story?
you haven't told them about the jar either.
I
No,
haven't
the
told them about
jar.
the
The
jar
jar is the
either.
most important one. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but the fact that you're all going like the jar, the jar already sounds
The jar.
funny. So now we gotta
Lobo,
hear it.
So
ISIS,
we
take
have
it away.
a jar because somebody started making. So ISIS is not a very common name, and the one thing that you kind of mentioned is like the terrorist group.
I'm glad
So
somebody said it. No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
You can't get jarred. You can't get jarred right now.
Can't
We
get
cannot get
past
jarred
it.
right now.
Dollar
Okay.
in the jar.
So we say a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of
I got
jokes.
you. I got you.
Yeah,
I
so
got
we
you.
say a lot of
Alright.
jokes. So she's like, you know what? Every time y'all make a joke, y'all got to put $1 in the jar. So we're like, okay. So we started doing it. But at the same time, apparently, Angelo kept annoying ISIS with a lot of stupid jokes. And it wasn't even just ISIS. He annoys all of us with a lot of stupid jokes. Like
Damn it,
jokes
Angelo.
that don't even credit or merit a answer. Like
But I'm over here
we
smiling like
just
a
look at
dumbass.
him and we turn around and we keep doing whatever we're doing. We're like, we're not even gonna acknowledge you at this point.
Yes.
And so ever since we did that, that jar has been filling up real fast, like really, really
Yeah.
fast.
I
Because of
think we have
Angelo.
like at least $20 in there. And they're mainly
there-
because of I know for sure $2 that are in there are because Lobo made some jokes. And then actually Angelo kind of made a joke the other day. Not for my name, but I was doing my makeup in the back, right? I was getting ready and well, I don't know if the girls are watching. The placement of the concealer is right here on the sides and on the forehead, on the nose, and on the chin.
I actually have to look at your face as you describe that because I'm not familiar.
Oh, yes. So I had the placement there and I was getting my sponge ready. And Angelo comes in and says something that wasn't really nice. What did I can't remember what he
Angelo, would
said,
you care to
Ow.
but I
refresh our
know what
memory?
you were talking about. I know what you were talking about. I was like,
Did you
Angelo,
really
you
think
can't-
it was war paint?
no, not war paint. Something a little bit worse. than that.
War paint, Jesus.
So
Just
say
getting
it,
ready for the
Angelo. What
night,
did you say?
bro.
I said
Good,
how.
Angelo.
How, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
like
yeah,
Like,
like
in
that's
the
why
Indian
like war,
hello
like
how.
Indian war paint.
Oh yeah. I was like, Angelo, you have to put $1 in the jar. He's like, no, I don't. I was like, yes, you do. You made a joke. And he was
Yeah, I had to
like,
put $1 in the jar yesterday.
I put $1 in the jar. Yeah. But a lot of the
Oh my
money that's
God.
in there is mainly Angelo. I know
Yeah,
for sure
I
two
see a
bucks
lot of
are
stupid stuff
Lobo.
sometimes. But also, okay, back to the main part, the Trinity story. So Lobo,
The Trinity
tell them the
story.
nicknames.
So we decided that we were gonna go ahead and create, because from the very beginning, like I'm talking about like the very first shift that we worked, like we synced up really, really well. Like it's like probably been the I don't want to say the best, but it's definitely been the easiest group of bartenders I've ever had to work with. Like, definitely gel with them from day one, and it's been a lot of fun. So the one thing that we always said was like, okay, let's go ahead and give ourselves nicknames. So we all decided on doing superheroes because we all like superheroes. So we're like, okay, well, it's 1920. Let's go with the classics, and let's go with the Trinity of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So coming into it, we're like, okay, so who's who? We didn't say who's who. We just kind of picked them. Two men and a woman. And at the very end of the day, because Isis has a lot of gadgets and a lot of things that she's always working with and creating and
She's the
playing
Batman.
around with, she ended up with Batman.
Hells yeah.
On
I
my
was not
will,
gonna be Wonder Woman.
I don't have a single, I don't have a gun, I don't have anything. Like, I literally have to work with nothing. So I have to be running around and moving and just work on my pure skill just to be able to get out of things. So I'm Superman. And since somebody over here likes to whip around with his tins and everything, he's always just lassoing around. We made him Wonder Woman.
Like the little whippersnapper that he is.
Exactly.
I will say though, I love it when like usually the bar will be seated first. But when there's like a big reservation, there'll be like there'll be people at a table. So I'm trying to bust out tickets as fast as I can with the help of Lobo, of course. And then Jello would just be on the side of the bar, just like, and we're
Yeah,
just
there's
like,
a perfect video of it too. That like kick your shot, like it showed them both like getting organized, shaking everything, and then at the end,
Yeah, you see him
Yes.
frolicking around in the background.
I'm assuming those are your Instagram reels that you're working on.
Oh no, that's just me getting attention.
Yes,
Got it.
like it.
Got it.
So
Got it.
many videos have been recorded where Angelo is just like whoop whoop, and I'm just like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, I
Yeah,
have
we're like
to get
running,
this,
we're like
garnish it,
focused. You
light
see
it.
the determination on her face, and this one's just oh, just tossing around, having a good time.
But
I
you
think
know what? To be fair, one of y'all has to be the performance stunt artist. To be fair,
That
not
is
to
true.
defend
a little
him,
bit, a
but I
little bit, a
mean,
little bit.
there's gotta be some stuff flipping and flying around.
Oh no,
That
that is
It
that's
There's
does
a
what I'm
get
reason
saying.
they
people
put me
to
at
the
the front
bar.
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's a
definitely.
reason they put me at the first well.
Yeah,
They-
he's a
There's
showman.
there's a reason why I do what I do.
Leave me to
Yeah,
be, guys.
we actually all have like we kind of learned that we all have like our strengths, and we all work
Of
off of
course.
each other's strengths. So Angelo is a showman, so he really likes to show off, have the interactions with the guests, and be able to entertain them. So, and that's great. And Isis as well has she has her what is it called, not showmanship, but her
Charisma.
Presentation.
outside. I mean, she has charisma as well, but no, but hers is her showing, her like her creating of the cocktails. Whenever she had her presentation, that's the word I'm looking for.
Her
So
showmanship.
yeah, so her presentation on the cocktails are immaculate, like absolutely some of the beautiful I've ever seen in any bar that I've ever gone to. And it takes a little bit of time and precision, so I know that they both take their time to do that. I'm in the middle just to go ahead and run and knock things out like as fast as I possibly can, so that way that they both have enough time to be able to do what they do, because I know that our bar looks so much better and works so much well, uh, because of the way that they're doing their things. So I know that we all kind of gel and mend together because of that same reason.
Very, very cool.
Mhm.
Before we get out of this subject, same question for Isis, and just in case you forgot, because we kind of went a little off topic there.
Yeah.
Uh, can you share a memorable interaction you've had with a customer while crafting a cocktail for them?
Yeah. So recently, I have been getting a lot of compliments, especially from the owner, because the customers are the people that tell him at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I don't really work with people as much as I'm used to. So I work directly with the servers. I present them with the cocktail. I dress it the way that I would want my cocktail dressed and taken to me. I just don't know. I don't really hear back about the taste, the anything about presentation or anything like that. I kind of just hear it from my coworkers. I mean, still I take it and I appreciate it because I work really hard. Um, but it's nice when it's recognized by the person that you're making it for. So with the had a couple of times where the owner has come up to me and he has said that, or to me and Angelo actually, that he had some friends from Vegas come down, and when they went back up, they came back down. I think to just revisit, right? And they had told him that the Clover Club that we offer at Gatsby's is a lot better than the one that they offer in Vegas. I work on
Oh,
tickets.
congrats.
Yes. Oh, when I heard that, I was like, oh my God. Um, so I work on tickets. So if they were sitting at a table, it was, I think they were sitting at a table, right?
Yeah.
Um, I kind of took it as a compliment because I was like, oh my God, like the cocktail that I made for somebody is uh, better than the one in Vegas. And for it being Vegas, it's a little crazy. I also had a guy who had said that he came up to Angelo actually, and he said that the carajillo that he made was the best one he's ever had. And the best one that he had before that one was from New York City, from Ciudad Mexico. And Angelo goes,
Oh.
"I didn't make it; she made it." So when I heard that, I got like a little bit like excited because I was like, "Oh, wow, wow, wow!" Right? I was just really excited about it.
That compliment
Um,
hit, man.
yes, like the compliments here and there, like they're really great. But going back to the question, Um, yeah, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, um, somebody came up to the bar and had told me that they went to New York on a trip and they were chasing the flavor that I had offered them in the Welcome to Wonderland cocktail. They went to a lot of cocktail bars, trying different things, trying to find that flavor that they get in the Welcome to Wonderland, and they couldn't find it until they came back
Dang.
and they ordered the drink. So that kind of made me really happy, and it made the shift go a lot easier just because I was in a better mood. I was, oh my God, somebody really appreciates this cocktail, especially because I don't push it much. It's pretty intricate, so making it like in the middle of rush is not ideal, but it it motivated me to just keep working on it and keep like tweaking it and adding and taking off and making it prettier and making it easier for all of us to be able to work with if it ever gets to the point where we're able to put it on the menu and we have to make it like in the rush or something. But yeah, this is coming from somebody who like orders Tito's and Red Bull. Like that is her go-to,
Yeah.
and she was chasing the my flavor palette, and I 100% appreciate it. I love it. I it made me feel like Lobo said, like warm inside, because it's like, oh my God, somebody was really going after what I offer.
That is nuts. Just recently I just watched that new Wonka movie, and Willy Wonka the character travels the world to find specific ingredients to make his chocolate. You quite literally made somebody search around parts of the world to find the flavor that you actually made. So that's kind of nuts. You kind of like made them go on their own little Wonka journey per se, not exactly chocolate, but for the
For
cocktail flavor.
cocktails.
That is fucking nuts, dude. That's an awesome story.
Thank you.
Um, very, very good. That was the customer interaction part of that question. We're going to move along to the fourth category, which is teamwork and collaboration, which is kind of like pretty self-explanatory. There's three of you, and I'm assuming because all three of you work at the same bar, you all have to like get down and kind of like read each other off. Whenever Angelo mentioned this in the last podcast, that there's certain times where like he can't handle or can't, or it takes it to a point where he's like gets a little too upset, and one of you has to kind of jump in and save him. And I assume that's
The
kind of how
lady
it
that
works
grabbed me.
with everybody. Yes,
Oh, the lady
the
that
story where,
grabbed
yeah,
you.
that was crazy, dude.
Yeah, that
That
one's
one was
real bad.
crazy.
That's
So
insane.
Yeah.
my question to all of you is, can you describe a time when you had to work closely with your colleagues to handle a particular busy or challenging shift? Let's start with you, Angelo. You want to like say that story one more
Okay,
time and say,
I'll say it again.
and then whoever jumped in to help him, you got to tell me what happened right after that.
All
Like,
right.
what did you
So
guys do?
basically, I was making a drink for a person, and as I was shaking the drink, a lady grabbed my arm and pulled me and was trying to get a drink for me, and I was like, "What the hell?" So I was literally like, "Okay, I gotta finish." I finished the drink, and I started walking towards my sink to clean my stuff. And as I was walking, Lobo right away went straight to the lady. Was like, "Okay, how can I help you, man? What do you need? What do you need?" Like, and like
Yeah, I
basically
saw it.
in
I
a
saw the
way
look in his
got her
face.
to move a little bit more back from like where she was grabbing me from, and it was really like helpful as well. And then like Isis just looked at me, she's like, "You're okay, right? Like everything good?" But like yeah,
Yeah.
it was a quick like not even like 2 minute thing. The customer didn't even notice that like I was upset or anything. Like they literally didn't know they did anything wrong at that point. But it was just the fact that like everybody noticed right away that everybody was quickly to like, okay, let's fix this real fast. Like
Okay,
Yeah,
now
that
who was
was
the one that jumped
crazy.
in?
Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Lobo.
jumped in.
What
Yeah.
did how did you handle it? This will be
Well,
answering the question, by the way. So
well, it's because all of a sudden I saw his like reaction, then I just saw her arm and her hand pulling him, and I was like, "Oh damn, that's not good." And I know exactly how he feels. Like, don't grab me, don't touch me. It's I mean, or at least not that way. Like I can understand
yeah,
people like tapping me, during doing
Yeah, exactly.
certain
Like
things.
I
Like
had
it's
a
okay.
Ignacio yesterday tapping me and be like, "Hey, dude, do you think you get me next or something like that?" Totally fine with that.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But the grabbing and pulling, that's a bit much. So I saw him, and as soon as I was like, okay, let me get in the middle of this because this is gonna it's gonna turn out pretty bad. So I just kind of got in her face, and I was like, okay, what do you need, man? Like, all right, like let's get a little bit serious.
But yeah,
Let me
in all
be a little bit
fairness, the
more
customer didn't
professional
even
about
know
this.
anything happened.
No,
To her, it
no,
was
not
just
at
like,
all.
"Oh yeah, I was just trying to
It
get
was just a
attention."
normal thing. And then
Yeah.
actually, the same night, there was another lady that came behind the bar. Like she walked into the bar, and I was like, "Okay, man, you gotta go." And she's like, "Well, it's because I'm looking for." I was like, "That's perfectly fine. I need you to get out of the bar," and we
How
damn,
had to like
do
wow,
literally push her out of there.
That's like always been like the one thing that I've always questioned is how do people manage to get behind the bar? Like
Oh,
what?
that lady was a little tipsy. So
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. Like, I assumed,
yeah,
like, because you all work with very tipsy people, so it's like for somebody to walk behind the bar. It's not that it's like, oh, it's a usual thing, but it's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
does
I've seen
happen.
my fair share of people behind the bar.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Our main concern really is just, I mean, things are wet back there, so
Yeah.
the floor is kind of slippery. So at any moment, I mean, we wear non-slip shoes for the same reason, but they could fall out at whatever moment. So
Yeah,
that's what we're more
honestly.
Yeah.
scared of.
I mean, not only that, but like our mats have holes in them, and if the girls
Oh,
walk
with the
behind
heel.
there
Oh
with the
Hmm.
shoot!
heel, they can trip, they can fall.
Oh,
There's sometimes there could be broken glass. There's just bottles, things that we just can't. Just trying to avoid an accident and stuff.
And especially under our wells too, we keep bottles. So like if we pull out our little crate and it's just stuck out or something, you could trip over that pretty badly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the fact that there's spouts on the well, so if you fall and you kind of hit your head on that, it's gonna cause some
Like
Especially my
damage.
well where I have the martini picks. Like,
Oh yeah.
as it
oh
is, like
shit!
we get cuts like with the spouts.
Yeah.
Imagine
Oh
falling into
yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah. We get cut all the time and bruised
Yeah.
and smacked, and I end up looking at my hands and I'm all cut up, and I don't even know where or when it
come in
happened.
Yeah.
on Tuesday morning to Rotas and I start making lime juice. I'm like, oh shoot, I
Oh,
Oh,
have a lot
there.
of cuts in my hand.
Damn,
Yeah.
you're mentioning cuts, so it's quite literally y'all are making this with your blood, sweat, and tears. Quite literally. I hope there's
yeah.
no blood
Actual blood.
drippings
No,
going
No.
on there.
no, no.
Well, no, 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 not like that.
It's like
Yeah.
paper cuts and like when we're opening
Yeah.
boxes for some reason
Yeah.
we'll get a cut from that and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just ridiculous, honestly.
Like if you're
Oh, okay.
like the spouts, like if you're like just going way too fast, pulling up and down, like you'll just get like a cut. Yeah, it's they're inevitable behind the bar. You know, you could be peeling an
Gotcha.
orange and accidentally nick yourself. With a pick, you can even like accidentally nick yourself
Stab
as well.
yourself.
Yes, it's
So
it's
I
yeah.
feel like y'all like answered this all together. Is there like another story that like will maybe outdo Angelo's here?
No, no.
Um, not outdo it. But I think it was our soft opening night, and Lobo had the night off that night. So he came to check out the bar just to see what it was all about and stuff. And it was me, Angelo, and another bartender working. Uh, but when we got there, I was actually sectioned in the middle well where Lobo is at now. And I was gonna be working with people, taking their orders, like what I was kind of already used to. Because I used to do tickets, but then moved to people. And I thought I was gonna stick to people. But the night took a little twist. And then there ended up just being me and Angelo with about 80 something people at the bar,
Ooh,
servers, still learning the system, still learning the drinks, still trying to see what is what and how to ring it and what we can and cannot do. So there wasn't a ticket server, so I jumped in, and it was just me and Angelo taking care of. I'm gonna say like 100 people, right, inside and
So imagine
outside.
it was like crazy fast
It
pace.
was crazy, and mind you, this is the first time that me and Angelo had ever worked together. Prior to that, I've had only seen him like 1 or 2 days. When
And those for
we first,
meetings.
yeah, just for meetings. Like the first time I met him, it was just like, oh hey, like this is how you use the flavor blaster. You make a bubble like this, and then clean,
Of
clean,
course, he would
clean,
show you
clean.
that first.
Yes.
In all
I'm
So
fairness,
playing. I'm
our
playing. I'm
bosses
playing.
wanted me to show him that. So
yeah, that was like the first night that I actually like got to work with him and see what like how we were gonna be able to work together. And being short one bartender on a night like that is like the worst. That would have been a moment where we're like, okay, Lobo, like you need to be here. But we managed,
Jedi
and
Master, where are you?
we like
I honestly did not know what was going on, even though I was
a
there.
lot. It was a lot of
I had no
yeah,
crazy.
idea what was going on. I didn't know until the next
Yeah,
day. Had they
like
told me, I would have jumped back there and helped them out.
yeah, well, yeah, like the help would have been really appreciated, but our work chemistry just kind of synced in together, and we were able to work even though we were far apart. We were able to work together very well and like very like in sync. If somebody came up to me and wanted a drink, hey, like on that side, he can take care of you. And then he's like, hey, Isis, I need this. Okay, here, I got you. What else do you need? This. Okay, Angelo, I need this. Can you give me this? Yes, here. We were just working back and forth, kind of like tossing stuff to each other back and forth. Whatever we really needed or wanted, or we were both sharing, we would just leave it in the middle well and then just grab from there so we can just keep going.
I was like, I
And at the
remember using the middle well for something. I was like, what
yes,
we need? It was
we
just literally our
literally
go-to. Whatever we needed extra of, it was just right there.
yes, we use it as
Storage in a way.
like our storage kind of, yeah. So we were just pulling, grabbing, taking, and we ended up making it work. And that's when I knew that like if I could work really well with Angelo, then there's no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna work really well with Lobo. And then that's kind of how like it built.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we, Angelo and I, had the same experience at a certain point because Isis went on vacation, so we didn't have her for one weekend, so it was just me and Angelo to kind of get it done, and we did the same thing. We used the middle well just to be able to use our backups, and we're like, okay, let's put this, and this, and we'll split it in half, and we'll get whatever we need.
Dude,
And we
we
can go
even
ahead.
put Malibu peach schnapps and stuff in there,
Yeah,
just so
we
that
put
way
a
we didn't.
lot of
Yeah, we were
things.
literally just like nothing was literally behind us. It was all
Yeah.
grabbing in front of us the whole night.
Like we even set up a game plan before, like if this happens we're gonna do this, if that happens we'll do that, and you handle this and you handle that, and I'll get into that.
I think that's the night we
Yeah.
came up with the Danny Boy.
That's the night we came up with the Danny Boy. You're right.
All right, so
Mm.
we say a little thing. It's stupid. I came up with it. Whenever we have to use the restroom, instead of saying, "Hey, do you want to go use the restroom?" and a customer hearing that and thinking like, "Ew, that's fucking gross." What the fuck? We say Danny Boy. So Danny Boy, pipes are calling.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, like whenever
I
someone
like to
goes on
use
the
a code
Danny
word.
Boy, we say, "Hey, ISIS is going on Danny Boy. Give her a minute," or something like that. So that way we all know, like,
Yeah.
okay, cover this part of the well, cover this part of the bar, or something like that.
Yeah.
Very,
It's a lot
very
more
cool.
creative than like cold yellow and cold brown because I've had those, and I'm like, come on,
Ew.
that's come on, guys.
It's pretty obvious. It's pretty
Brown,
obvious.
that's so ew.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
not really good at yelling at, "Hey, Lobo, I gotta go take a piss, man. I'll be right back." Like in front of all the clients there. So like,
they're just
Gotcha,
with their
gotcha.
drink, like looking at you like what?
Yeah, it's gross.
So what's cool is what I'm getting from this category is that despite like y'all stories you were mentioning that it got so hectic, it got so fast, super fast pace, completely full, packed, full of customers, this and that, the throwing of stuff, being stuff passed around. But what I'm getting is that in the end is it really comes down to a very well established teamwork effort because even like when Master Jedi Cocktail wasn't around, you guys still managed, and
it's a
stuff
lot of
like that.
communication, honestly. Like being able
I
to
love the
like talk
code
back and
words. I
forth.
love the code word.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
funny enough, even though you bring that like as in saying, "Oh, the master thing," in reality, these two are so damn good, like on their own. Like they
Oh,
are
of
up to
course.
par with me, so I don't see myself any better than they are. And I honestly,
Just got to
and
record
I'll
that.
put this out like for all of Laredo bartenders that will put us three against any other three.
Oh
And you
shit,
can
here we go.
combine all the other bars together and I'll still take on all three of them with just these two. So like honestly, I would fall on the sword for them. So entirely.
And that is some awesome team leadership speech right there. Love it. Love it. And there it is. Let's move on to the next category. The next category that we're going to talk about here is the creativity and adaptability. We did mention how you guys adapted whenever stuff gets a little tough and stuff like that. The question specifically here is, I lost my sheet here for a second. Oh, here we go. I totally forgot. I'm gonna put this in a pause. I totally forgot. I was gonna nitpick ISIS for this one.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
yes, I was gonna
I love
nitpick
these ISIS
for you.
questions.
Yes, I love them too.
So my questions for ISIS, we're still on teamwork and collaboration. Um, for my questions for you is, can you share a positive experience where your presence as a female mixologist positively impacted a customer's perception or enjoyment of their cocktail experience?
Okay. Yeah. So I working with them too is a joy. I love them to death. They're easy to work with. But they came in to Gatsby's with the clientele that does not know me and does not care for me. They don't want to know me, right?
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Totally.
So whenever the rare times that I do get to work with people, or when I get a ticket from a server or anything like that, they'll usually have, oh, Angelo's name or Lobo's name or whatever, right? So it doesn't discourage me or anything, because I mean I get it. They've been with them for a long time. They create their own little things, and maybe I just don't know the recipe or anything like that. But it's happened where they just don't want me to serve them because they're like, no, I'll wait for him, or no, like I'll wait for Lobo. I'll do this. I'll just wait. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand. It happens. And especially living in Laredo, where it's a lot of machismo, they don't think that a girl can perform the same way as a guy can behind the bar or in any sort of setting. And that's not at all true. I feel like I'm just as capable as doing an amazing cocktail for anybody that comes in through the bar. And then I also get their feedback on it. So it's like something that all three of us are creating and stuff like that. Um, but I have had a couple situations where they do take a chance on me. They see that Lobo is busy, or they see that Angelo's busy, and they're just like, okay, I'll give you a shot. Like, make me this. And I'm like, okay. I'll make it for them, and they're like, damn, that is really fucking good. Like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. And I'm like, all right, cool. That as long as you liked it and you're happy, I'm chilling with it. If you want to stick back to your bartender, like you're more than welcome to. I'm not gonna, take you away from them or anything like that. But I do see it. They end up coming back and they're like, actually, can I get the cocktail that she made, or can I get the drink that she made, or I want it the way that she made it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that's how I like I feel I kind of get proud of myself, because it's like, okay, I am capable of doing it. I work just as well as they do, and I'm a girl, like it's an industry that a lot of men dominate in, and the couple of girls that I do see coming in bartending and stuff like that, like I don't know, I kind of like appreciate it, and I love it when a female bartender takes care of me, just because I get it. it's it's not every day where somebody will take a chance on you and they're like they appreciate it, especially in Laredo, with all the masculinity and all that stuff. But yeah.
Definitely.
There is actually
Before.
one story. I'm sorry for interrupting,
No,
but
no,
there's
go on,
one
go on, go on.
story that I think I don't know if she remembers or not, but there was one night where somebody asked her because we kind of switched roles. She was in the middle, and I ended up being on the tickets. So there was one guest that wanted a drink from me, but I was really really busy, so we're swamped. And what's it called? I told her, "Don't worry about it. Make it for them." And she just kept looking at me. She's like, "Well, what do I make for them?" I'm like, "Just make something. Just ask them, like, what is it more or less that they want? Just go ahead and do it." And she kept like asking me, asking me, asking me. And I finally had to stop her. I was like, "Isis, you're more than capable of making them a drink that they're gonna like. You're really capable bartenders. Stop questioning yourself. Just make it." So she ended up making it. Now that same person does not ask me for a drink any longer because they like their drink way more than they like mine. So now that became it became to where they want her to make her drinks and not me anymore. So they ended up liking hers
Damn.
way
Good
better.
I
job.
will brag
Yep.
about this forever, dude. ISIS can run circles around us.
Yes, she
And
can.
yeah, he did
She's
mention
our
that in the last podcast.
she's our
I
prodigy.
did. I heard.
Yeah, she's our prodigy. I'm absolutely serious when I say this. I will give her like another 2 years, and she's gonna be far better than we could ever be. I was like, and
Damn,
I'm waiting to see her like in a higher stage to where
Yeah.
she is in Vegas, where she is in New York, where she is in Europe, making drinks somewhere
Oh
where
yeah.
we can only dream
One
of.
day.
Yeah. So I do see
Yes,
oh
her.
man.
one day.
Yeah, you hear that?
I
You're a prodigy.
I heard it yesterday. I think I had stepped out for like a little bit. I went to go help out at Rochas because we were a little bit understaffed. When I came back, the bar was full, and just the bar top, not the customers or anything. The tables, I mean. I walk in and then I hear Lobo, "There's our prodigy," and I was like, "Oh my god, here I am."
Tell me something I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
No, no, no. I'm still in my learning phase. I'm still uh trying to get to know like the ins and outs of the bar. I literally I think I just started. I did take a break for a while and then I came back just recently. So I'm just relearning everything that I was taught. Trying to get back up there, trying to come up with new drinks, coming up with cocktails, new garnishes for sure. Like I'm always on that, like looking for new ways to make a drink prettier than it already is. Make the presentation match the taste and stuff like that. So
Very,
I'm
very
still
cool.
learning, but yeah.
Yeah, the 21-year-old me could not even handle
Yeah.
21-year-old her. You would whoop me like
21-year-old
nothing.
me was making Jack and Cokes at Carinos, so
I
yeah.
I I could barely open up a Michelob Ultra. So come on, come
I have faith in myself now. I did not know that.
on.
Very good, very good, very good. Before we move on to category 5, I'm about to school ISIS, all of you really. How you're saying, how ISIS, how you were saying that this is like like not emasculate, but you said that it was like a man, the dude's taking over this field. So I did some uh research. So it turns out I'm actually going to show you guys. This is the chart that I found. So apparently this is the females working
Damn,
as a mixologist compared to
awesome.
the males. So when,
Love that.
in actuality, the females are taking over right now when it comes
That
to
is
the
awesome.
making
That's
I
cocktails,
love
great.
to see that. I love to
That's
see that.
awesome.
and it
When
doesn't really.
honestly,
No, go on, go
sorry,
on.
when I first started bartending, well, I besides not being allowed behind the bar or anything like that, or at bars because I wasn't 21 when I first started. Um, a lot of the males that would come in to apply got the got the bartending job before I was even able to um bartend, and they hadn't done the training yet. They weren't experienced. They maybe they had like a year or two under their belt, Um, which obviously, like I would probably put them behind the bar before somebody who doesn't really know much. Um, but I knew the ins and out of the bar. I knew how it worked. I knew how the manager wanted it, and stuff like that. And they passed on the job to somebody of the male species, right? And when I would now that I go to bars, I see a lot of males behind the bar. I've gone to house TKOs and stuff like that, needles as well, and two girls are in behind the bar of each of those bars. They're all mainly on the floor serving and stuff like that. I feel like in Laredo though, it's mainly males that take care of the bar than in anywhere else. I There's this one girl actually that Angelo showed me on Instagram. She does flair and like the whole switchity shoe thing with the bottles. It's crazy. Like that girl's amazing. I want to be her when I grow up.
I'll send
Like
you a link so you can show quick
yeah,
videos.
like she's really good. And then her drinks come out even like they come out really pretty. So yeah, at least I feel like at least in Laredo there is a lot more men in the behind the bar than females. But
I
I'm
mean,
really happy to
that might
see.
be true. That might be true,
Yeah,
but the numbers say otherwise. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's a national average. Because here in
yeah.
our city, our culture is still. I want to say we're still like two steps behind from the rest of the country. I was like in terms of like that, like males are better than female type of thing.
Yeah, a
Hmm.
yeah.
little bit.
But I mean, it's starting to even out a little bit better and better. Which in reality, and I kind of feel bad because there's actually four bartenders. Like we are four bartenders. Like
Yes, we
there's
are.
three main ones because there's three that work in the inside world, but we have a fourth one, and she's also female, and we've only ever been able to work with her inside one time, and she's actually really really good. So
Shout
this
out
is
to
shout out to
Leslie
Hell
because
Leslie.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
her.
Yes. Yes. Because
Leslie,
she's
She's our rock
absolutely awesome.
outside, man. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
yes.
So
you
she's
you
on
see
her
how
own
many people
island. She
she's
has an
handling
outside
out there?
bar.
Like,
Yeah, and she does it all by herself. So she doesn't need any of our help. So she literally holds it down by herself, and she's awesome. Yeah. So definitely shout out to her.
hell yeah.
Big
Shout
shout
out,
out. Love
shout out
Leslie.
to her. But yeah, like I showed you guys, it's not male dominated as you saw the numbers. But I'm not surprised because even when it comes to like beers, the the creation or the start of beers, they were actually invented by women in
Hmm.
around 8,000 BC, which and in the Sumerians where is now Iraq. So again,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised seeing those numbers and then knowing that beer was first invented by women. So it's like in reality, females are gonna or have dominated this shit since like ever. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything,
Actually,
you
this is
are.
absolutely true. Like, because we kind of forget that bread and yeast kind of bring up, because of that creation, we use bread so
Mhm.
much in civilization to be able to spread out civilization that we were able to create beer. And because of beer, since we weren't able to get water in certain areas, we were only able to survive, in dry lands because of that, because of beer. And the ones
Exactly.
that ended up created, like you said, was a woman.
Exactly. So if anything, you are kind of in the right space right now. So
Hell yeah.
kudos to you, and hopefully you do end up moving up on the ladder and actually, how these guys said, you start making cocktails in Vegas, or I don't know, you become like, I don't know, a personal celebrity cocktail maker. Is that like a thing? I think that's a thing,
Um,
right?
There's definitely bartenders that get hired to do
big events.
like big events. I know I follow what's his bar chemistry on TikTok, and
I'm
he
familiar
did
with that name actually.
yes, he did the TikTok I think TikTok influencer event of the year, um where he got to make his own cocktail menu for that party. And
Oh, very nice.
yeah, he started off in New York, like we did, the same way we did. He took the cocktail route. He was in it just for easy college money, you know. And then he ended up finding a passion and a love for it. Now he has a whole business um, revolving around mixology.
Very, very cool. But yeah, that was it. That was me trying to school you guys, and that apparently the females are rocking this shit. They're rocking it. They've
Oh yeah.
been rocking it for like years now. Now for reals, now let's move on to number five, and that was creativity and adaptability. And my question to you guys for this one is: can you discuss a time when you had to quickly adapt your cocktail menu or ingredients based on unexpected circumstances? And Angelo mentioned the last time he was here that uh, you switched completely, or there was like times where you actually tweaked something. I don't know if you want to maybe refresh everybody's memories. I see you're having a hard time remembering.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering too. Um, I think we changed up the gimlet and the cosmopolitan like right on the fly in the middle of a shift. Like one of the owners came up and was literally like, the gimlet doesn't taste right. I don't know what's going on with it. And like Lobo right away was like, yeah, look, we can change it up. We'll do this, that. You need I think he said you need lime cordial or something like that. And then for the cosmopolitan, it was coming out too tart. And he's like, okay, cool. We could either take out the citron vodka or switch out the lime juice for it. What would you like? And like it was two very quick fixes that happened in the middle of a shift too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had already tasted the drink, so I mean, because we're told, this is the way we want to make it, and I have absolutely no issues with that. But sometimes, you'll taste it, so you'll see. Okay, I don't know if people will actually, take it or be happy with it. But I kept seeing people's faces, so I could tell that they weren't liking it. So I tasted it, and I was like, okay, it needs to be adjusted, but I'm going to continue with the recipe throughout the rest of the night, and we can go ahead and talk about it. But how he mentioned, the owner Ray came up to us and said, "Hey, you know what? They're complaining about it. They don't like it." So we kind of changed it on the fly, right there and then, and it's actually stuck.
Yeah.
So it's been our
Oh,
recipe ever since. Yeah.
very, very cool. Um, so that's you guys. Isis, yeah, did you have any similar situation where you had to do something like that?
Yeah, so I get a lot of them every night. A lot of people don't like certain liquors and stuff like that, but they want to have a taste of the cocktail. So almost every night I end up tweaking one thing out of every cocktail that comes in through the machine. I've had to tweak the don't play by the rules a couple of times. Uh, Angelo was really busy. I didn't want to bother him with the recipe, so I kind of just started making my own thing, trying to figure out if I got it even as close to as the one that Angelo made. Ended up coming out pretty good. They liked it. They kept ordering more, so I kept it like that. Um, this weekend and this past weekend, I had an order for a house drink that we have, but they just didn't want the mezcal in it, and they were really like picky with um, the way that they wanted it. So I subbed it out for vodka because that's what they preferred. So I did vodka. I did fresh pineapple juice. I kept some of it the same, and I just tweaked it just a little bit, make it a little sweeter and stuff. Ended up working out. They ended up ordering more. But yeah, a lot of the times I get a lot of modifications on drinks just because they want it a certain way and not the way that it comes.
Okay, okay, I get that. I respect that, and the how the story how you and Angelo kind of tweaked a drink and now it kind of stayed that way. That's also pretty cool. I assume that's kind of like I'm gonna say like a very good salute to you guys because you changed it up and it just kind of again it just stayed that way because you guys know obviously you know what you're doing. That's because this is what you guys study. This is what you guys do. So props to you guys for that one, for sure. Um, let's move on to the sixth category here, which I don't seem to have for some reason. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say
I got it.
that. The industry knowledge. In fact, give me a sec here. We're going to talk about industry knowledge now. Or, I'm just going to leave it like that. I actually missed one. How crazy is that? This is how these podcasts roll. Sometimes you just miss, and sometimes there's some technical difficulties. But we're going to talk about the industry knowledge. My question is, what do you think sets apart a great mixologist from a good one? I'm going to start with Lobo on this one since he is considered the wisest one here.
Yeah. So to separate a good one from a great one, I think a lot of it, part of it has to do with your interaction with people. That's kind of where you're going to go ahead and gear things a certain way. So anybody can go ahead and pull out recipes, make those drinks, and that's all great and dandy. And you can make a million cocktails that are already made, and that's great. Like it's perfect. Like you want to have that. You want to have a repertoire of a large number of drinks that were already created by other bartenders, and that will make you a really good one. And you can have your interaction with people, and you can be charismatic and do all these things. But at the certain point, what really stands out is when a person makes one cocktail just specifically for you. When they go ahead and figure it out, okay, I like this, I like that. I don't like too much this. Especially the one thing that a lot of bartenders hate, and it's funny, is when they say like, "Oh, I want something that's sweet but not too sweet, something that's strong but not too strong, something that's sour but not too sour, something that's strong in liquor but not too strong
Make
in
up your
liquor."
damn mind.
Yeah, exactly, and everybody's like so irritated. You're like, "Oh, I would just want to choke you," but it's those people that make your job. Fun in reality. That's the way I see it because I see it as a challenge. It's what can I do for this person to target and hit is specifically what they want. So the way I see it is I see a range of cocktails that they could like, but this person is narrowing it down to I may only like two or three that you may like. So it's like I gotta find that specific one that you are gonna like. And then it's not even that, oh, I made it and it's similar to this, similar to that. No, I made you a brand new cocktail I've never even made before. And I only made it right there on the spot. And this is
Lemonade
your
with vodka.
cocktail.
That's a good in between. Not too sweet,
Oh
not too
my
sour.
gosh.
Which, funny enough,
Ah!
my go to joke because everybody will
Ooh.
ask me, what is your favorite? Like, what is your favorite thing to make? And I'm like, Michelob Ultra. Like, and it's always that. Like, what is your favorite thing to make, or what is the best thing you make? And it's always Michelob Ultra.
So
Yeah,
Michelob
It's my
Ultra.
lemonade.
yeah.
I
That's a good
love
one,
that.
though.
I think wasn't it last week where one of our well, she's a regular now, right?
Yeah.
Um, she came into the bar and she was like, she was, oh no, it was Angelo's friend. Sorry. Um,
Marla.
yes,
The one
she
that's at
was
the end.
like, yeah. She was ordering drinks from each one of us, but I told her that I couldn't make her a drink just because I work at the service well, and we are pretty busy. But she asks Lobo, she's like, I'll ask you just because she's really busy right now. What's your favorite drink to make? And then he goes, a Michelob Ultra. And she just looks at him so stunned, like, is that are you serious?
I choked a
And
little
We're
bit
gonna
on
she
have
that
was
water
like,
one.
no,
next
but
to
like for
Marla, so
real.
she's gonna laugh.
She was like, no, but are you for real? And Lobo was like, yeah, Michelob Ultra. And then she was like, oh, can you make me something
Forget
else?
it.
Oh my
I
god, it
have to
was
have
so
fun with it.
funny.
I get bored sometimes, so I have to have fun.
Yes, it was really funny.
Yeah, some of the stupid jokes we say behind the bar really are dumb.
Yeah, I love them.
But it's fun to pass the time.
Yeah,
Oh, of course, of course. You got to make it fun, or else or else it just feels like work, right?
yeah. It already doesn't feel like work actually. I go in there and I have a lot of fun all the time.
Yeah.
Like
That's good.
you start feeling the work after the shift is over. You're just like, oh no.
It's when we have to clean up all our mess. We're like, God
Yeah,
damn
Yes.
it,
that's
dude.
when we
Why
hate
did I
it.
spill this simple syrup, dude? I was being a fucking idiot. I swear to fucking God.
It's when the
What was I
regret starts to kick
thinking?
in. Yes.
You start
Like
looking
it's
at all
Oh
the
my god.
stains, like, where the fuck did I move my berry syrup over here? Oh, that's how it spilled. Oh my
it's a
damn it,
lot.
dude.
It's a whole lot.
God damn. I guess the same question. With you, Isis.
Um. So I think just knowing your stuff you know. Um, uh, a good bartender will, yeah, well, they'll know what they need to know, uh, get what they need to get and stuff like that. But a great one will go out of their way to keep learning. You know, there's always different trends, different techniques, different styles that you can adopt. Uh, yeah, adopt into your into like a shift or something like that, and make it the drink better, or you can come up with a new way of doing things that no one has ever done it, and it could be like the next big thing, the next trend that um people start using all across the nation and stuff like that.
For sure.
But yeah, like a great bartender never stops learning. They continue chasing the thrill of learning new things and expanding their knowledge on a specific liqueur, a specific technique, different ways to garnish, different ways to interact with the customer, um, different flair techniques, anything. Like you just keep learning. You know, books are like a really big thing that I would like to start getting into. I haven't found any good ones, so if you have any suggestions, I would really take them.
The Craft
But yeah, like a
Cocktails
good
by David
bartender, just
Croft.
a great what?
The Craft of no, The Craft of Cocktails by Dale
I was
DeCroft.
just waiting for you to bust out your
I think
Bibles
I
as
saw
soon as
that
you
one at
answered that
Books a Million.
question,
I
dude.
might have to check that one out.
Amazing.
I have
But
them
yeah,
hidden right now.
like a great bartender will just never stop learning. They'll just keep going at it until they get tired. You know, at least
Of
that's
course.
my opinion on it.
AI says a great bartender also tastes their own drinks.
I'm good. I'm
Oh
good.
man.
I don't like alcohol as much, so I don't.
I'm
I
like a
Huh.
just
cat with every old fashioned I make. I'm literally like, okay, little dab for me. That's delicious. God damn, get out.
Yeah.
I will say though, I love making old fashions. I hate the way they taste. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I do not like the old fashioned. Love making it. Love it. Sometimes.
To me, that's a little weird how you say that you're not much into the drinking, but yet here you are making drinks.
Yes.
Some done that up. Like I
It's
get it,
weird.
but
Oh no, no,
It's
no, no.
weird.
Trust me. Isis can drink sometimes. Isis can drink.
Sometimes.
Rare. Rare.
Yeah.
I don't drink too often. I maybe once or twice a month that I'll go out and drink. But I myself
With the
am not a big
girls.
drinker. With the
With the
girls.
girlies.
the girly girls.
Hey,
Yes.
I don't like cocktails. Like I don't like a single cocktail. I don't drink cocktails. I'm a beer and straight liquor kind of a person, but I like making cocktails. I was like, I love the flavor of them. I actually do like the the creativity of it. I was like, really sparks
Yeah.
my attention. But
Interesting,
tasting them and
interesting.
drinking them, not at all.
No. I will do a vodka Ricky before I do
I
a
taste
cocktail.
all my drinks.
No, that's not true. I would probably get like one or two cocktails and then I'd be done. But I'm not a big drinker. I just like making them for the people that do enjoy to drink.
Got you. I love how you use these guys as your guinea pigs, though. That's just hilarious to me.
Yes, they can try the cocktail. I'll just make it until they say
Cool, cool.
yes.
Yeah.
That's funny. Angelo, same question.
All right. Honestly, it goes down to like communication and knowledge. Um, Being able to communicate with whoever's behind your bar, or whether it be with a client or anything like that, with say this and they're gonna laugh, with a level head. Um, Being able to communicate with your other bartenders as well. Um, Knowing that you don't have to say sorry all the time for stuff as well, for anything.
Wonder who that is.
I don't know.
Understanding that if like There's something that one of my instructors at bartending school said once that really stuck with me. The minute you stop taking knowledge serious in your job is the minute you stop taking your job serious. And literally every time I think
I
about it,
like
I'm
that.
like, okay, like any type of career could like there's advancements in any type of thing, and there's always going to be advancements in bartending. Like me and Lobo call it a cheater way, but ISIS found a better way to froth like kind of heels and espresso martinis, and it's just so much faster than everything that we had to do in the back past 10 years. So normally, if you want to get a good froth on an espresso martini or kind of heel, you dry shake for a while and you do it hard so that we could get a good foam. We have frothers now. They are
Yep.
amazing.
It's 2024, man.
Get with the program, guys. Damn.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah.
We're over here messing up our joints,
Yeah,
hurting
for real.
ourselves, and
Me and
she
him were
just
literally
puts a little
shaking
machine in
over
there,
here,
and I'm
and then
like,
we all just we
Carpool
just turned, and
tunnel over
ISIS is
here
just there
and
like,
shit.
what's up,
yeah,
guys?
I
yeah.
will say though, I love dry shaking a cocktail.
Oh,
Like I
it is nice.
for a while I did not use the frother that we have. Um, I just did the dry shake until until we finally got batteries for them, and that's when I started using the frother. But
But
I
yeah, I
appreciate it.
wasn't touching that thing, not because it
I didn't
didn't
know it
work,
didn't work.
but because I just didn't want to use it. Okay, let's
Yeah.
be clear.
Yeah, no, but I do appreciate the because I feel sometimes, honestly, I feel like dry shaking it gives it a better foam. Maybe that's
agree.
just me, but I feel like
No, yeah, it does.
it just gives
It
it a
sounds
better
more like
foam.
a
It's a lot
personal
silkier.
preference. It sounds
Yeah.
like preference now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I
What
it
about
like
is
you,
it.
Adas?
I
easier with
really
the
do like
frother
it.
though. I just can't see
Okay.
anything, so I'm like under the well, just trying to froth the drink,
It's because you
and
got Princess Di just shining a bright light at you.
Oh yeah,
I love her.
anything with like coffee or anything like that, especially the White Russian. It's just something. Oh, I love to do. It's like if I get the heavy whipping cream and I put a little bit of like cinnamon, or if we have vanilla, because we don't have vanilla extract, but I will bring it. You put a little bit of that in there and you froth it up and you put it on top and it just stays like that. Oh my god, it's delicious. Yeah.
I
Very,
would have
very
one of
cool.
those.
Yeah, I would like one of those too.
Right now, let's after this. Right now, no.
Let's do it.
After this,
We can get it at Rochas.
Oh,
everyone
by the
at
way,
Rochas.
I found out what was in that drink you were talking about. The leche de burro.
Oh
So what is it?
yes,
What is it?
the
All
shot.
right, so
What's the donkey's name? No, I'm
it's
kidding.
coconut rum, pina colada mix, pineapple juice, whipped cream, all shaken up with a splash of Bailey's. Basically, it's a
Ah,
deconstructed pina colada with Bailey's,
Sounds
God.
Love that.
interesting.
and it comes out super like creamy when you shake it.
Oh,
So
yum.
Is
that's
that why
why.
it's called leche de burro?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a different
Yeah,
take on a
it's over here right now.
another cream pun, which I'm not just gonna say right now. Hence the donkey.
Yeah,
She got it. Her mouth is
with the
her mouth
frothing
is wide
motion
open.
of
She
the
got it.
donkey.
Oh no.
And these are the professionals, my people. These are the professionals. Oh man. So we did the industry knowledge. Now we're gonna move on to the responsibility and safety. Uh, I think you guys touched this earlier. How whenever there's people who get too tipsy and they're like wanting to go over to the bar, and you mentioned that it's slippery. There's broken glass sometimes and stuff like that. So my question is, how do you prioritize responsible alcohol service and ensure that the customers are consuming drinks in moderation? Because I believe that part is a little bit difficult, trying to keep people from like getting blasted. I assume.
I honestly
So
think you should ask Isis this first because she
okay,
has
okay,
great points on this.
okay. Let's hear it.
So we care a lot about our customers. We want to make sure that they're okay and that they make it home safely, right? Um there's a lot on the line when a customer gets a little too intoxicated and stuff like that. Not only can we lose like our job, our license, or anything like that. Um, they can lose their life, going out there drinking and driving and stuff. So we try to make it very. The moment we see somebody who is intoxicated like crazy, we try to offer them water. We cut them off and stuff like that. I At the end of the night, I have caught myself walking around with some water bottles, just offering them to anybody who's left, that needs it. That I see, like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, look, here's some water. Just drink it, okay? And then they'll do it. They'll drink it. I have like a really uh nice approach when it comes to cutting people off or offering them water. I've had instances where one little trick that I do like to do for them to not get as like aggravated and angry with me. I'll be like, hey, so my manager is starting to notice that you're getting a little bit tipsy. I don't think you're tipsy, but I cannot serve you if you don't if they don't see you drinking water. So if you finish 4 waters for me, I'll give you another drink, right?
That's actually very
Um
smart.
so they'll drink their 4 waters. Some of them like to act goofy and like those chug them, but I'm like, man, you have to drink your water. And then they take me a little more seriously. They drink their water, and then if I see that they're fine, by all means, like, you can have another drink, maybe something less strong. Like if they're drinking Manhattans all night, I'll do something a little bit lighter, like something with soda, something with water, just so they stay hydrated and they don't wake up with a hangover the next day, right? Um,
Of course.
like I take care of them as much as I can. Because at the end of the day, I like to think of it as like, if they were my mom, if they were my dad, if they were my sister, I would want somebody to take care of them the way I'm taking care of this person, because it's their life. Um, I care about everybody coming into the bar. I want to make sure that they're safe, and so does like the bar that we work for. They're very they're very strict on us on making sure that they have water on their at their table at all times, making sure that thing is refilled, making sure everybody's walking out nice and safe. And recently we got word that we might actually start having we have like a company Uber. So
Oh, okay.
we'll get Ubers for whoever is intoxicated and needs to go home. That way they don't drive and they don't,
Yeah.
there's no accidents or anything like that. And I thought that was actually like a really good idea.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
It's possibly the only bar in Laredo that has that as of now. I know once we implement it,
It's gonna pick
it's
up. Yeah.
it's pick up and everyone's starting to start doing that and stuff like that. Um, but knowing that there's a bar here in my hometown where the bartenders are going to take care of me. They're going to give me water. They're going to make sure I go home safe, that I'm not driving. It makes me feel more comfortable with, going out and having fun. Like, as a girl, it's already hard to like trust an Uber or trust a bar to not let me go home like super crazy intoxicated, or encourage me to keep going when I know that I'm not in the right state of mind. So the
Yeah.
fact that Gatsby's is offering that for men and women who go out and want to have fun, and then the bartenders are taking care of you, that's a huge extra step that I think more bars should be doing. But yes, we we really prioritize taking care of our customers, and cutting them off when they need to be cut off is um a really big thing. They can like bitch and moan all they want about them getting cut off, but at the end of the day, um it's their life that we're protecting and that we're taking care of.
That is fucking excellent, actually. That that was a really good answer. And that does that is that like a group thing? Is that everything
Yeah.
that everyone can agree on? Because I mean
Definitely.
y'all work uh in the same bar, so that's awesome. The
Um.
fact that there's going to be that service coming out soon, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
like
thing we
Really.
that's a
always take
part.
into account is our drinks are served pretty strong, and we do get a heavy hand with our spirits and stuff like that. So we always try to give water as soon as like someone sits down as well, just so that way like you stay hydrated throughout the whole night. Because
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we do make some strong cocktails.
Yeah, the good thing is that like our atmosphere, our environment in the bar, you could tell that it's not a get crazy and get drunk and go wild type of place. It's more of a, kind of a lounge to be able to sit down, have a conversation, still be able to talk, still have a good time with good music and everything going on.
Sure, sure.
But it's definitely not like a get wild type of place. But it's always the thing that we are kind of programmed to always see is just how well the person can, respond, how they look, how they're interacting with you, because that kind of tells a lot about how they are, if they're getting inebriated or not.
Yeah, like from the
And
first interaction to like the third, you're like, okay, let me gauge this.
yeah, exactly. So we know when the person's getting drunk, and we'll go ahead and cut them off. And I have absolutely no issues with cutting people off, because at the very end of the day, it's you can call me whatever you want. I've been called every single name in the book. I don't care. At the very end of the day, I still want to see you back here next week. And if I don't do that, I know I won't, or hopefully I won't. I do, but regardless of the fact, I don't want to put you through that type of situation.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant. Like my mind's still on that service that you guys are going to start providing, and the fact that y'all really take the whole taking care of your customers very serious, um, which I'm sure that every bar does that.
Mhm.
But I feel like y'all are pushing the envelope a little bit more by adding that Uber thing that you got Isis mentioned. So that's pretty awesome, and I hope like Isis, like you mentioned, that I hope that gets pushed out to every bar, because that sounds like something that they should have already have had like on their agenda, because again, drunk driving, it's not cool. Like you said, it's their life. And like Lobo was saying, like, you want to see this person come back, you want to see this person the next time they come over to your bar. So that's just fucking awesome to me. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And,
one of the
and again,
last.
I feel like we're all in agreement with this one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, because it's funny, because the last thing that I always tell people is, okay, enjoy the rest of your night and drive safely. And it's funny because I say that to everybody, so it almost feels like it doesn't mean anything. But I actually do actually mean that when I say tell everybody, please drive safely.
Yeah, I tell
Because
people
Yeah.
don't
it's a
talk to
big thing.
strangers.
Yeah, be careful out there. Especially recently, there's been a lot of accidents and stuff. So we just want to make sure everybody stays
Dude,
safe,
yeah.
and whatever we can do to make it easier for them, by all means, we'll do it. I Before Gatsby's opened, actually, I was at Rochas, and we had a customer who wasn't really a customer of Rochas, but he came in and he was intoxicated, and he was just trying to go home. So me and my manager ordered an Uber for him, and we took him home. So he wouldn't have to get behind the wheel or anything like that, and he was very appreciative of it. Um, he didn't have to tip us, but he did. He was really sweet about it. He thanked us, and then I haven't seen him since, but I know he got home safely just because the Uber said that he did. So yeah,
Okay. That's awesome. And it's Gatsby's, right? The one that you guys
yes,
work at.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, in all fairness, if you work at Gatsby's, you can work with Rochas and Rise as well. So the
yeah.
good thing about working with just the one entity, you can go between all three.
there you go, guys. Go check those bars out. For those of you watching in the video podcast or just listening, definitely check them out. They will take good care of you, not just by cocktail wise, but they will also make sure, your drunken ass doesn't do something stupid. So that's awesome.
Definitely.
The next category here is style and perspective. Again, we've kind of touched all this as we go, but to get a little bit more deeper into it, the question is, can you share any insights into how you experiences or background influence the cocktails you create? For example, Ice's story, how you literally send somebody on a journey to search for this certain flavor. Um, I mean, what other stories do you guys have that might be somewhat similar to this. Let's start with Angelo here. Keeps coming in and out.
Oh, sorry. No, I was cleaning my freaking camera. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Well, a lot of my influences come from the fact that well, I grew up in Chicago, so I saw a lot of like classic cocktails and stuff like that. And coming down here, got a lot of like southern influence with like mezcals and tequilas and stuff like that. So I like to implement like a lot of like variety of flavors from the north and south to a cocktail to make it a little bit of everything I've encountered from like my travels and stuff like that. But also like some of them are just childish wonder. Like, hey, dude, I wonder if this will taste right. um, Honestly, my inspiration and style and everything like that just literally come from the fact that like I like just thinking of a day drinker. Honestly, I talked to you about this last time. My great grandma was a big day
Yeah.
drinker, loved day drinking. Every time she went to go day drink, she tried something new, loved her sangrias and everything like that. But every time I think of coming up with a cocktail, and like someone likes, it, I'm like, yeah, damn, yeah, that's something my grandma would like. Um, but yeah, a lot of the inspiration just comes from like the idea of like, man, dude, I, I think she'd love this. Like it's just a lot of like hoping and wondering and loving, honestly, just what I do to push into a cocktail. That gives me a lot of the inspiration about like where what
Still
I'm
love
doing.
that answer.
Thank you.
That's an awesome answer. How about Lobo?
Um, in terms of style, more or less, my style is just kind of. I mean, I really like uniformity. Like I like robotic moves to do the same thing to make it over and over and over and make the same drink 10 times, and every single time it's the same thing. So
Okay.
it's to whatever it is. It could be a margarita, it could be a pina colada, it could be an old fashioned, it could be whatever it is. But I still want to make it the same way every single time. I'm always stuck to okay, making the same moves just to kind of make it like that. I know that they have a different sense, one with the flair, the other one with her, uh, what's it called, with their style and everything. And outside of that, the caveat of how I show things is how I prep myself prior. It's how I go out there and try to learn other recipes, other flavors, other syrups, other things that I can go ahead and do prior. So that way I can go ahead and prep and be able to make those things. I like to do unconventional things in the sense of finding flavors that shouldn't work together. Things that like I said with the mezcal and the bourbon, so it's things that you wouldn't really think that would combine, but they really do, and they work really well. So the other day I had made one other cocktail that we used one time, and I know they want to make it, and right now I'm trying to work it out because they want to put it on the menu, but I got to find a way to make it easier for us. And we did it for Valentine's Day, where it takes cucumber, strawberries, it gets
Awesome.
muddled in. It gets muddled in with some simple syrup, lime juice, and in reality, you can use either vodka or gin. It's supposed to take gin because it gives it more of a floral note, but most people don't like gin, so we'll go ahead and do vodka. And the very last thing that I go ahead and use is balsamic vinegar, which is something that people are like, "What the hell? Why are you putting balsamic vinegar in my drink?" It really works really really well, and it's a great flavor, and it's really nice and refreshing, and it's not something that you would think, but it gives it kind of like this tart note that is just different from anything else that you can get. Yeah, so it's that type of thing.
Cool, cool.
Mhm.
You were mentioning before that you're into challenges, and that
Mhm.
answer kind of like screams that out because you're saying that you like to mix stuff that just people think like, oh, that ain't gonna mix. So the
Yeah.
the the challenge is there, and I see that because you've mentioned that a couple times. So the fact that you aspire to get that one, I guess, flavor notes, and then in a way where it's like a bit, I guess I'll use the word ludicrous to some,
Mhm.
but that's awesome, dude. I love
Yeah,
that.
because I cook a lot as well. So I try to bring the flavors that I find in cooking to try to go ahead and bring it over to bartending. So it's just something something that I could taste, I'll drink, and I'm like, oh my god, if I were to put gin or vodka into this, it would taste really, really good. And or vice versa. Sometimes I'll grab something from the bar and then bring it into cooking, and it's a good way to balance it out and actually explore different flavors.
Very, very cool. Isis, same question.
So I don't know if I have a style, honestly. Um, I tend to a lot of my cocktails that I do make, I do tend to make them very light, very foamy, very. If I think of gin as being a cocktail without it being like alcohol, it would I would describe my cocktails to be like ginny, you know. Um,
I'm sorry,
I
what?
like super like if gin was a cocktail, those would be my cocktails. Very
Oh, okay,
floral,
Ginny. Got it, got it.
very ginny, you know. I can't find a better way to describe it other than that. So I'm sorry. Um, but a lot of my inspiration comes from the people in my life that I like absolutely love. One of them being my grandfather. He I had a very big connection with him when I was younger, and there's a cocktail that I'm currently trying to come up with. It already has a name. It just doesn't have the actual cocktail, you know. So I'm working on that currently, but when I was younger, my grandfather would take me. He was a taxi driver, so he would take
Okay.
me on his morning route, and then when lunchtime came, he would drop me off, and then he'd continue his afternoon route. And without a doubt, he every time he came back from his shift, he would bring me prickly pears from the street vendors or anybody who was selling any at the time, and we would sit down right before lunch was ready or right before dinner was ready, um, to make and we just peel the prickly pears and we'd eat them while we wait for the food to be done. And it's a very vivid memory for me, just because I love my grandfather. You know, he motivated me to do a lot of things that I'm doing now, and I want to pay homage to him by doing making a creating a cocktail that will resemble that memory of him. You know.
That is awesome. That's a beautiful core memory. I love how these origin stories, like I was mentioned earlier, like I love when a drink just goes even deeper and there's like an origin behind it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, what is the name for this drink?
So as of now, I have called it the taxi, just because I can vividly remember his taxi. It
Okay.
was it was white from the bottom, and then it had like a checkered line through the middle with the little yellow top, and then the little white taxi sign at the very top.
So I'm assuming you're gonna like pile those colors onto your drink then.
Maybe not pile them, but maybe definitely make it like yellowish, whitish, and then coming up with a garnish is gonna be a little tough. But Angelo kind of gave me an idea the other day when I was talking about it with him to make a taxi garnish. You know, just put a little taxi on top. Maybe I can
Oh,
like cut
okay.
it off. I can cut it out of orange peel, lemon peel,
That would be
anything
pretty
that'll
cool
work.
actually.
What
Yeah,
if I get you a checkered stencil and then you can spray it and then it'll be on top and you'll see the checkered thing?
that would work actually.
That'd be
I
amazing.
I can't I can't be using these napkins to like do stencils
Yeah, I
anymore.
know. I told you I was gonna get you the stencils, and I haven't gotten
I
to get
never
them, but I
got
will
it.
get them. I'll get them for you. I'll definitely get them for you.
Yeah,
Super,
Since
it's
you're
super
doing
cool.
stencils,
we can do a Gatsby stencil
Oh, the G, the G.
with the
I could
powder
probably
and stuff.
find the G too, especially their
Ooh,
G is pretty easy to find. Yeah,
Very,
we could.
very cool. I love that. Uh, as far as styles, I mean, just to kind of like put a little bit more into it. I assume there's also a little bit when it comes to like y'all's culture. Does that also kind of get involved when it comes to the cocktail making? Because there's like cultures that have like a specific like they go more for like the spice, they go more for bitter, they go for lemony stuff like that. Is there anything that maybe comes to play when it comes to making y'all's cocktails?
I think
Um,
Lobo does a lot more of like diving into the culture.
yeah.
Like when he does like mezcal and tequila and stuff like that, he really like incorporates a lot of like what he's learned in like culinary aspects and like over the 10 years of bartending that like he really puts a lot of thought into his like the mezcal and tequila that he chooses.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's. I mean, at the very end of the day, those flavors have always been with us, and we've grown with them. So it's something that for me, it goes back to me and my childhood and being, with my family, and we'll go ahead and visit Mexico all the time. And they're from Sinaloa, so we'll be over there and we'll taste all those, fresh flavors of the sea and all those type of things. And it's how she said the prickly pear. We had a lot of that, a lot of cactus, which is one thing that I actually want to get some cactus, and they have like a cactus flavored drink. So
Ooh.
it's things that are native to us. Another thing that I would really like to do is make mesquite flavored, because that is really native to us in South Texas. So that
Hell
would be
yeah.
really great. So those are all things that are really, really, close and tied into our culture. So
Very,
definitely.
very cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. I like that. The mesquite thing, there's a there's certain like bourbons and stuff like that that already have like captured that.
Yeah,
uh
Crown
flavor.
Royal has a mesquite. It's
yes, that's one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, that's true. So maybe start off with there, or I don't know, maybe make smoke them yourself or something. Because you mentioned
I,
you
I've
also like to smoke.
I've actually thought about that, like to be able to smoke
Yeah.
an alcohol. I just don't know how to get it to a point, because I would have to do a cold smoke. Because if I do anything with heat, it's gonna burn off the alcohol. So it would have to be a cold smoke, which I could possibly do, so that way I could just get the flavor. Or I could smoke salts and get the flavor from that, and then add the salts in the drink or sugars. I don't know. I could probably go that route as well. So I could
Nice,
definitely,
nice. Getting some very
yeah.
exclusive shit here, guys.
Very
Like
creative.
Yeah,
be on the
for real.
lookout. Be on the lookout, man. Number nine. We're gonna move on here to number nine, and this one is balance and wellness. Uh, Being that most of the time you guys are on duty, it's fast paced. How you guys have been mentioning, it's fast paced, and when it starts getting good, it's mostly, I assume it's like when it starts getting dark outside. It gets dark, you guys get more people at those hours, so it's much more hectic and stuff like that. What is it that you guys do to maintain them and keep yourselves, just up to do such a thing? And the question here is, can you share any strategies or practices you've adopted to prevent burnout or prioritizing your well-being? Let's start with Isis here.
Um, so I am relatively new to all of this.
Okay.
So I've experienced burnout. I'm still trying to come up with like strategies on um how to not get it as hard as I did when I first did. Because when it there's a lot of factors that kind of go into it. You can just get tired of what you're doing, or the people around you can also cause burnout for you. Make you lose interest in what you're doing, motivate you to not want to do anything, and just kind of step away from it. You start associating that negative with what you love to do, and you kind of just don't want to do it anymore. So I had taken a step back from bartending uh last year around, I believe, summer springtime. I was it was just a lot of negativity, I it wasn't my thing anymore. I started associating the bad with the good of like cocktail making and stuff like that. And instead of enjoying my time doing it, I was dreading it. So I decided to take a break for myself just to kind of see if it was something I really wanted to do, or if it's just something that like just like another job for me. I tried a 9 to 5. Never again doing that. That was like the worst thing I could have possibly done. I hated it. It was awful. I didn't like waking up early. I hated that I had so much free time at night. Like it wasn't my thing. So I left. Thank God. And I went back to bartending. I appreciated it a lot more. I had more, like, I guess, respect for it. I was surrounded by people who really motivated me to keep on doing what I was doing, and like they kept filling me up with hope that hey, you're gonna be behind Laredo's best cocktail bar, eventually, right? Once we get everything set together and stuff like that. And it really motivated me. And when I got the chance to actually bartend at Gatsby's, I it ignited that spark in me all over again. I am I feel like I'm on my A game when it comes to that. And sometimes working almost every day it does get a little bit tiring. So my I guess my advice for like of trying to avoid burnout when it comes to stuff like that would just be to take a day or two to yourself, you know. I took a week off to go to Seattle, and
Oh, nice.
I don't regret it. I had a lot of fun. I learned a little bit more about cocktails over there. They really like putting curry on every single drink, by the way. Um,
Oh, we
yeah,
gotta try that.
I
I
did
would love
not
that.
like it. I did not like the curry. It was
Not her cup of tea.
Curry
no.
with some coconut milk. Mm,
I That's what I had actually. I had curry
yeah.
with coconut milk, I believe rum and
What about some rum
guava.
chata with that, dude? I think that'd be fucking delicious.
Oh,
Oh
Ew,
shit!
not curry.
I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it. I'm
I
gonna bring it.
actually had a mezcal and curry drink at the Loop Lounge in Seattle, and it was not my favorite, but I could
And you
see
didn't
it could
mention
be
this
somebody
earlier.
else's favorite. Huh?
You didn't mention this
You
earlier
mentioned
What?
like Grey's
because.
Anatomy and stuff, but you didn't mention these
Sorry.
cocktails.
No, it just the smell of curry is not my favorite, so
Oh, okay.
not my thing. So I just opted out against those two cocktails. I drank them, right? Because you know, a cocktail's a cocktail. I'm gonna drink it regardless. Um, but yeah, you know, taking time for yourself, really focusing on like what you need to focus on, because at the end of the day, if you aren't okay, you're not gonna work okay, or you're not gonna work the way that you're supposed to.
True, true, true
Yeah.
that. Angelo, how do you keep yourself sane?
I don't.
That's my
um,
secret. I'm always insane.
for the most part, when you have downtime, take it. Um, Lobo's been pushing me to do that a little bit more. Especially like since I've been working mornings at Rochas, I come in and he sees I'm tired. He's like, just go to the back, 30 minutes, hour, rest, and then get back out here. Like it's like I don't see it in me whenever I'm like when I feel like when I look tired, but they see it and they're like, no, just go to the back, just go to the back. So a lot of the time it's about understanding that you're part of a team. Don't try to do everything on your own. Don't push yourself over yourself too much. Let your team help you. Let them be there for you. You're there for them. They're able to help you as well. Um, yeah, I still try to get as much done as I can by myself, and yeah, yeah, it's about taking also some time for yourself. Like Isis says, good week or two to yourself to decompress, to understand like okay, like either dive straight into like more knowledge about cocktails or just distance yourself completely from the idea of cocktails altogether and just let it just sit for a second. I mean, honestly, either way, just getting some time for yourself is always important. Always, it's yeah, it's never should be taken for granted, even if it's like 10 minutes of the beginning of your day to just sit down and just be like, okay, you know what? I had a good day yesterday. It was fine. I could have done something different. All right. And then just something to like feel that you're acknowledging the fact that you are going through your day by day and acknowledging all the steps that you took for that day. Just so that way you're not overwhelming yourself by like keeping it all in your head.
True,
Yeah.
true. I can actually, I can actually relate to when you said that you try your hardest to do everything all by yourself. Anyways, I can totally relate to that because I'm the same way. I think it's like we're like really stubborn ass people. I guess I get that sense from you. I get a little stubborn. I'm the
Love
same
was like,
fucking
yep,
way.
yep, stubborn
Yeah, a little bit.
motherfucker.
I'm the same way. I'm a stubborn fuck. So I can relate to you with that. But like you said, you gotta allow especially with you guys because like you gotta allow that teamwork effort to happen or else like you're just not gonna do it. You're not gonna make it. So that's something that you and me can work on. I can relate. I can relate
No,
with
but
that.
it's not just Angelo. It's actually all of us. And now that you said that, it's the four of us. Like I know Isis gets stubborn as well. With sometimes you have like a whole thing of cocktails, and I'll be like, "Okay, what do you need help with?" And she's like, "No, I got it." And I'm like, I'm seeing her face of like frustration and panic, and I'm like, "Why are you doing this to yourself? I'm here to help you. Let me just help." And I do the same thing. I try to do as much as I possibly can by myself, and if there's anything bad happening, I don't say anything, and I'm there, and I'm like, why am I making my life harder when even Isis is help asking me if I need help, or Angelo's asking me if I need help? I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And
That,
especially since I'm preaching it and I'm not taking my own advice. So
that's kind of why I go around
Yeah.
asking you guys if you're good every now and then, just to
A
yeah,
be
lot.
like, yeah, you're good, right?
yeah.
A lot of times, I think we just at some point we just stopped asking and we just started helping because I, as a collective, we're just not the type to be like, oh, help me. We have talked about this before. We've worked at bars where we're the ones doing all the work and helping where we can when we can. Um, and the fact that now we're working with people that have done the same thing and gone through the same struggles, it's like they're here to help you. They are going to help you.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about it. Like you're going to be good, you know. It's it's just something that we all kind of have to get used to, Just knowing that you don't have
There's
to do
someone on our
everything.
that has our back.
Yes. You don't have to do everything because they are reliable people. They are going to help you. They are going to take care of them. They are going to watch your back while you need to go to the bathroom, or maybe you hurt yourself and need to get fixed. They're going to take care of everything. When you come back, it's going to be easier, if not at the same level as it was before you left.
That's a
Exactly.
good point too.
Yeah,
That's
because we
true.
were all leaders wherever we were at before. So the way that we came into now, it's like that single-mindedness of, okay, I'm the one that has to make everything run, and it's not like that any longer. It's all three of us work together to make everything run,
Yeah.
and it just makes our lives so much easier.
Like, I gotta be honest. When we
Okay.
close, it's like it's beautiful because literally all of us just like split off. We really
We
don't
know
say
exactly what to
much.
do. We know
Like we
exactly
don't
what to
really
do.
say much when we're closing. It's literally just like, okay, everybody splits off. Everybody's doing something, and then like just fill in the void. Whenever you're done with something, fill in the void. Do something else.
Yeah. We have some interesting closing conversations though.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep, more than
Yeah.
interesting.
I love those. They're my favorite. The end of the shift is the best because like you're decompressing, the stress is finally over, you're kind of just sitting there like what the fuck did I just go through? Did that actually just happen?
You get to have a
And
laugh.
then, huh?
You get to have a
Yeah.
laugh too. Honestly,
Yes, you're just like, dude, I can't believe I let like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Or what were they thinking? And you just kind of like, kind of enjoy it. And then it's all of us cleaning, so even the servers get involved. And I think there was like one time where like we were all quiet, and I was like, I'm sorry. So I was like, so what's the question for today? And everyone was just like, what? And I was like, okay, I'll ask it. And I was like, who, if you had one person that you could fight, who would it be? with no repercussions. And all of a sudden, everybody was angry. Everybody got mad. Everyone was like,
Everybody was
damn it,
riled
Isis, why did
up.
you
We all
ask that
wanted to
Had the
fight.
question?
answer and was ready to like jump a person at the same time.
Yes. Like, we have like
Damn.
a. We just have that understanding, you
Leslie
know?
was the most mad.
He was
Like
like,
you
Isis, why did you
literally
ask that
stirred something
question?
in her.
Yes.
You guys starting fights at the end of shifts.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
supposed to de-stress, not cause more
That's
stress.
how we
That was my
de-stress.
bad. I didn't
That's
think
how
he
we
was gonna get to
de-stress.
that point.
Fight Club.
Now we were waiting for body
Fight Club,
shots
he
in the
says.
bathroom.
Oh
You know,
shit.
like all right, guys, ready? Body shots, ready? Come on.
That's hilarious. Same question, Lobo.
Yeah, so to add on to what they were saying, I mean, it's like any other balance in life. I mean, you have to be able to take care of yourself before you're able to do anything else. So, for me, I like to, exercise, keep my body strong, and I know that I can handle whatever it is that I got to do. And also, check my mental state, that I'm able to kind of moderate myself and know that I'm not stressing out too much. When I know that I am, I have to take a step back and be able to breathe a little bit. The other one is also eating. Luckily, I'm able to find some kind of peace and kind of meditation whenever I cook. So luckily that helps out with the fact that I'm being able to, give myself some nutrition to take care of my body as well. So that all kind of, figures itself out. And there's always other things that I'm looking forward to. Like I really do enjoy working with them. It's always a fun time, definitely, but it's also that I look forward to, like let's say today, Sundays, and right now I'm already gonna start prepping up to be able to cook and go outside and be able to do all those things. So those are always things, to look forward to. I mean, sadly, in our industry, everybody goes immediately to drinking. It's a big issue and a big problem that a lot of people have, where it creates a lot of alcoholism. And I get that it's a way for everybody to de-stress. It's not just for bartenders, for anybody. Literally, people get out of work and they go straight to happy hour, and they're at the
Yep.
bar right away at 5:30, and they're already there. And there's nothing really wrong with it, with moderation. I mean, drinking isn't bad. I mean, if drinking was bad, we wouldn't have a job. And but it's all due to moderation. I mean, it depends on how you go ahead and take it. I mean, it can't be the end all be all of all your worries and pains. It has to be a balance as well.
That's actually the best way to put it. The balance, because like you said, moderation is important. Because and that's what I push out a lot when it comes to the channel and the podcast. That because people hear the name Booze and Chill, and first thing they think I was like, oh, this fucking alcoholic and whatever. But it's like the total difference. Like, yes, I'll try different things and reviews this and that, but I'm always like pushing out, like, you know, if you're gonna drink, don't be a dumbass about it. Like, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, stuff like that. So that's actually really good. And facts, really, it's facts. You should be smart enough to actually think that, like, don't overdo it, because as it turns out, drinking too much is bad. So yeah.
Yeah. I will say though, when I first started in the industry, a lot of people, a lot of the bartenders that I used to work um, at main event for some reason, they would tell me yeah, you're either gonna become an alcoholic, you're gonna smoke weed, or you're gonna do hard drugs. And I was like, what? Why? And they were like, it's just the thing that you do, like, ask any server here, they all drink. They're all alcoholics. They're all this. I was like, I don't think that's something that everybody does. And it is something that a lot of them do. A lot of them go to alcohol after a shift or when they have a day off, just because they wanna. It's a de-stressor, right? And I feel like part of the reason as to why I don't drink so much would probably be just I'm too scared to like fall into that hole. Um, yeah, it's just there's like a there's like a I guess like a stereotype or a stigma around industry workers that yeah, they are alcoholics. They're all alcoholics and they all do drugs because that's what um helps them de-stress. And that's not the case for a lot of us. Like some of us go like for Lobo, like he goes into cooking. I like spending quality time with my partner, my family, my animals, you know. And then Angelo, flares for de-stressing, you know?
Yeah.
Like
We also game. We also game
yeah,
Yeah.
a
they
lot.
game, they game. They've yet to invite me.
You have
Oh,
yet to
that's
download
true. We
Fortnite.
have to add
I will
you.
say they have yet to invite me to one of their gaming sessions, and that's kind of rude.
The
Yeah,
fuck,
Whoa,
you're
guys.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
absolutely
whoa,
The
whoa,
right.
fuck.
whoa,
You're
whoa.
right. We are wrong. We are
Point of
wrong.
order. Point of order. Judge. She's been telling us she's been trying to download Fortnite for the longest time and never told us she did it.
Fortnite is already downloaded on my Xbox.
Then
I
where
just
is the
don't have
gamer
the
Well, then we'll
tag?
send
Xbox
it.
Where is
locked
the
in.
gamer tag that you have to send us? I'm just saying.
Exactly. So message us and we'll add you. No problem.
Nonsense. They
This,
just
this
haven't
sounds like
invited me.
this sounds like something you guys should probably settle out after this is over because it
Oh
feels like it's gonna
yeah.
end up with another fist fight like that story you just told me. So
No, we're just
I'm
gonna
out of
go
this
one
one.
v one
I'm
on
out of this
Fortnite.
one.
That's it.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Say the name. Say the name.
Say it. Oh man, but yeah, how you were Isis was saying that there's the stereotype about uh people like what you guys do being alcoholics, but the cool thing about you guys is that you know y'all have y'all's ways like decompressing as Lobo was saying. So uh being I say professionals because I mean obviously you guys have been doing it for a while. Even Isis, you say you're new to the game, but obviously you naturally have a talent for it. So people like you in the field and being how you guys are, you can actually break that barrier, you know, that stereotype. I mean, because you know you guys aren't what people consider to be, you know, the typical stereotypical uh, mixologist who's an alcoholic or druggy or whatever the fuck these people are saying. So that's pretty cool. You're doing what you love, but at the same time, you're also setting a good example. So that's freaking awesome. Keep up the good work. That's for damn sure. And we're going to finish this off with the last category, and that is future aspirations. For this one, the question is what are your long term goals and aspirations within the mixology field? And how do you envision contributing to its continued elevation and innovation? And what projects are you currently working on that reflect your vision for the future of mixology? Let's start with uh, wow, I forgot your name for a second there, Angelo.
No, it's cool.
It's
No worries.
Angel.
Let's see.
Go ahead, Angelo.
Long term goals. I would love to be able to travel a little bit more, just with bartending. Being able to do like special events around the country, around the world, even would be amazing. I have friends in Germany, France, and Denmark who are already wanting me to go visit their bars and everything like that, which would be amazing to do. Um, but for now, projects that I've been like pushing on are my private bartending business that I've been working with. I have an event on March 22nd that I'm pretty excited about. By the way, you guys are not going to have me March 22nd. Sorry about that. Just thought I'd let you guys know that. Anyways, and then as well as I actually registered to be a contestant for Drink Master Season 2. So I'm excited for that. I hope I get into it. They recently messaged me that they're still in deliberations about their contestants. Uh, really hope I make it. Honestly, that'd be an amazing leap towards something I would really like to accomplish. It would help me immensely in like my traveling and everything like that. That would be astounding. But yeah, as far as that, I'm keeping my ear to the ground, knowing like trying to find different competitions and stuff like that to enter. Just got done doing the espresso martini competition in Austin, got second, which was awesome. And yeah, just just really pushing hard to like continue to put my name out there in a way.
Very, very cool. Because you said you won one competition. Which one was that one again?
Oh, the Bethany House Mixology Showcase for 2023. That was all right, but it was only versus like three other bartenders.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it
still
wasn't
the
anything too
fact that
crazy.
you actually like won it, still a good
Yeah.
good thing. So that's something in your arsenal that you can actually have, or in your resume per se.
Oh yeah.
Next
Actually,
question. Well, not next question.
the
I'm
cocktail
sorry.
that I
What?
actually won that with is actually a cocktail that we use in the bar now that don't play by the rules.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that the last time as well.
So yeah, I'm
Um,
glad that it's hanging strong.
Very nice. Same question. ISIS.
So, Mike, sorry, that happens a lot. I
It's all
apologize.
right. It's all right.
Um, so at least my future with the with bartending and stuff like that, I do want to go to bar school. I want to go to New York and study a little more about mixology and stuff. I want to get certified. Um, Recently, actually, I've gotten a link to, I don't know if it's the Bar Smarts or the Barfi.
Barfly.
It's a bartending uh certification, I think. I want to get that done as far as short term goals. Long term goals, I want to open up my own bar one day. You know, I want to be able to have something small, nothing big, nothing crazy. I don't want the strobe lights or anything like that. Just a bar, cocktails, some food, and that's it. You know, something you can enjoy with your friends, with your family, on a date, anything like that. Like I just want my own bar, and I want to implement my roots into the bar. Um, my family is from Mexico, and I grew up. I was raised in Nuevo Laredo for the first 4 years of my life, and a lot of my big influences are from Mexico as well. So I want to implement that a little bit into my bar. I want to give it that spice that Mexico has. The cut by with the coloring, the decorations, the flavoring of their food, the drinks, like everything. I want to make it like as culturally accurate as possible.
I can dig that. I look forward to that in the future. Some
Yes.
aesthetically awesome cocktail Mexican looking bar. That'd be sick. Same question, Lobo.
So when it comes to the bartending, sadly, and I told both of them this is probably my last rodeo. So I'm trying to get out of
Oh
bartending.
no.
Yeah, so I've kind of started looking onto other ventures and started to get out. For the longest time, for the past 10 years, I've always thought that I've wanted to do the same thing how Isis said, oh, open up my own bar and restaurant and do all of that. And I really, really devoted myself into it, into learning, the best way to bartend, learning the best way to cook, learning all of that. And I always thought that that's what I really wanted to do. And it turns out that it's not. What I really want to do is have that at home, have no pressure of having an owner, having a customer just tell me, no, I don't like this, no, I don't like that. Like, no, I get to do that at my home, experiment in my own home, do whatever it is that I want, have my own bar, have my own restaurant, have my loved ones come in and be able to showcase the things that I've learned and been able to do in the past and kind of express that love through food and drink. To be able to show them, just how much I care about them by the work and effort that I put into the things that I give them or present to them. So it's sadly that I do want to step away. I kind of want to be the guy on the other side of the bar now, the annoying customer that says, "Oh, I used to bartend as well," be and also be able to one day follow these two and be able to see wherever they land and be able to be drinking at their own bars or their own restaurants and wherever they're at, and I'll definitely be following them. And one of the things that, because it says about contributing right now, and try to contribute to these two as much as possible in the sense of the way that I see how they are.
He
Um,
paid for my whole
Angelo
competition
likes
trip to Austin.
that too.
Wow. Very
Um,
generous.
so it's because I saw the way that he was and how enthusiastic he was about it. And he said he wasn't going to be able to go, but I had to drag him over there just to be able to see that because I saw the enthusiasm in him, and I couldn't let that pass.
I would
Um,
want it if it wasn't for Goose. God.
and he's it's funny because since we're talking about it, okay, we all like to work alone and everything, but I see the lack of patience that he lacks for the rest of us, like his coworkers. And sometimes, so I try to get him to like kind of relax, calm down. Hey, don't always take everything so serious because I know he's really, really passionate about this, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. But sometimes it's that thing of not everything has to be taken so seriously. So the moment that he
Yeah.
kind of lets go and not just lets go and it being serious, but also the fact that he knows that he can hang on to us. I mean, how he mentioned the other day that the other day he didn't want to take that break. I kept telling him, "Hey, I'm seeing you're tired. Go to the back." He's like, "No." It took literally, I swear to you, about 20 minutes of me nagging him to go to the back and go sit down and take a break and relax and calm down. He doesn't need to be there all the freaking time. And it's that. And on the other hand, with Isis, it's patience within herself because she starts to kind of get flustered with everything that's going on, and she kind of overthinks things, and she doesn't have that confidence in herself, and that's something that I try to instill in her, where she forgets how good she really is or doesn't remember at the moment. And I'm trying to tell her, hey, you really are a badass, you really are this good. Just stop overthinking about it and just do it, just get it done, don't worry about it, stop, and just try to get them to be the best versions of themselves. So yeah.
Very good. And another very aspiring leader speech from you. I get that. I get that a lot from you. So you started off by saying, you know, what you want to do, and you finished it off with like, oh, these two bastards, I gotta look after still. You know what I mean?
And
So
before we leave, and actually, this is one of the things because it does say what projects are you currently working on. So,
okay,
funny enough, whenever they need me in the future, if Angelo wants to go ahead and invite me to his, what's it
Private
called?
events.
Private events, I'll definitely go ahead and do that. No problem. And Isis, whenever she has a question about a cocktail or a drink or something she wants to go ahead and create, she's always welcome to ask, no matter what. And the other thing that I'm trying to do right now, which I'm working on, guys, I'm gonna finish it. I'm working on a cocktail book for us. So I went ahead and set it up. I'm putting all the
oh my,
cocktails that I know, every single thing that I've learned. I'm gonna have them all there, and I want them to go ahead and place theirs as well, so that way we can all each have a copy of that. So no matter when or at what point we all separate, that we all keep going with that book, so we all have each other's recipes and move
That's
forward
awesome.
from there.
that is sick.
That's great.
Are we like, are we talking like maybe quite possibly publishing this thing, or is this just like between you guys, or
I don't
it's
know
just an idea,
how.
just an idea?
Yeah, of course. It's something that I don't know how to go about it because it's not like every single cocktail that's in there is just I made or created. Like I want to say maybe out of all the cocktails that are in there, maybe 20% of them I actually made myself, and the other ones are known cocktails. But it's just
Okay.
something so that way we can have a whole list of everything that we know. That if we could fill it up with over 1,000 cocktails, that would be amazing. But that's something that we always have in our back pocket, no matter what.
It's the Holy Trinity book,
Correct. That's
the
entirely
Holy
what we're
Bible of
calling.
the bar.
Yes.
I
So
Oh,
like
we're
is
that.
that
calling
I
it the
like
Holy
that.
a working
Trinity.
title? It's a working title.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
Um, I This is definitely a really good cast or pod, as they say. It's very informal. You guys dropped so many good nuggets here for like aspiring mixologists. And speaking of, I'm gonna end this with a question for Isis, being that she's the girl in the group here. What advice for aspiring female mixologists?
Um, don't get discouraged by what people tell you, and trust your gut, and know that you are just as capable as doing it as anybody else. Don't overthink it. It's plain and simple. The way that you thought it the first time is how it is, and it's going to be more often than not, it's going to be the way that you end up going. Just because so many times I've questioned myself in the cocktail, should it go, should it not go, should it go, should it not go? When originally I was like, yeah, it should go. And when I put it, it's the way that it was meant to taste, you know? So don't second guess yourself. I need to follow that advice as well. Have confidence in yourself. Just do it. You know, you're gonna do it. You know, you're more than capable of doing it. Set yourself up for success, and don't feel like just because you're not as experienced or you're not already there where everyone else is at, that you're never gonna get there. It takes time, you know. You're gonna get there. You'll probably end up being at the top at some point.
Very, very cool. Very inspiring words from a fellow female mixologist. Hopefully, this touches the hearts of other females so we can hire those numbers that I just showed you guys earlier for
Yes.
sure. And that's pretty much for that. I'm going to quickly show you guys where exactly you can find these guys. What I do have on me is I only got y'all's Instagram, so let me quickly show them exactly. Uh, where else can these people find you guys besides Instagram?
At Gatsby's, which is an amazing speakeasy, great place, 6501 Arena Boulevard. Great spot. In the same plaza, you have Rochas, which is
Yeah, from the
also
Gats.
an amazing.
Yeah, from the Gatsby's link, we're all there, and it goes ahead and sets us all up.
Yeah.
I post some cocktail videos. Definitely check them out. I have a lot of fun doing them. If you notice in the background, Angelo and Lobo aren't doing a single thing, but I promise you, those dudes are the hardest working guys I have ever worked with.
We called
I
ourselves out on one of those videos. We were literally standing just right behind her.
Oh,
like, "Man, that's like a
man.
nice cocktail." She's doing a
It's
lot of work for
literally
that.
we're
Like,
just standing messing around in the background while she's making these videos, and it always
I
looks
love
like
how I love how you started like they ain't doing shit, but they're cool though.
Yeah, they're all right. No, I will say though, like I've been wanting to make a video where I have Lobo mic'd up, because he's so funny, and some of the things that he says while we're like like uh mid rush are just hilarious, you know. And I would want, so, like I would want people to know like what we think or what we talk about or what we do behind the bar while we're making a drink and while we're, you know, trying to get you or get uh things done, you know, get the job done.
Sadly, mine has like
Good.
only food, and I never post any drinks, but that is gonna start happening.
But that's super cool though.
That
Like
looks
all these
delicious,
foods that
man.
you do.
Yeah, yeah, all
Dude.
plates I made.
That's delicious.
Dude, for
I'm
real.
getting hungry just looking at it right now.
I am really hungry.
And then of course we got I already showed this one. We got Angelo with his stunts
Yeah. A lot of stunts.
for sure. But yeah, totally follow these guys. Super cool people, really good at what they do. And I'll go ahead and leave other links to their other places you guys can find them, and also go to the bars that they work, check them out, have a drink from them, have a good time. They will take care of you. And that is it for this podcast, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for
Thank you
sparing
for having
so
us,
much,
man.
like
Honestly,
what,
it was
2
a pleasure.
hours here?
Honestly, it's
Yeah.
an awesome
Yeah.
experience. Thank you for having
Very
us.
awesome.
It's my
very
first
awesome.
podcast. So I think it's Lobo's too, right? It's our
Mine
first
too,
podcast.
yeah. Yeah.
Woo! Not
All
you, Jello.
right.
You've already had
uh,
one.
yes. Oh, actually, he's been there twice. Actually, he's been here twice.
This is
And
my
but
third
yeah,
time.
yeah, chiflado, super chiflado.
Show
The
off.
first time
But
we drank.
oh yes, that's true. But yeah, that's it for that, guys. You know how this works. Follow all Booze and Chill socials, and also if you want to get this podcast before anybody else, go to patreon.com/booze and chill. You can help support me there, and you will also get behind the scenes stuff, the making of all that good juicy stuff. And again, follow these people. Go to the bar, have a drink with them, and stuff like that. And we will see you in the next video, live and/or podcast. Peace out, guys.
Thank y'all.
Bye.